So today I'm showing off my art for an episode for a couple weeks ago. So like when I make these, I do it because of I do it like after the episode's already over. So every episode I like to tell like a little story, like there's some kind of in RP thing going on. But it won't make as much sense during these episodes because it's like I'm just using it as the title card, or like if I go AFK, I'll use it. But this was from like a couple weeks back when I was doing the whole Orgrimmar exploration one. So it's like the whole joke is I killed every NPC in Orgrimmar. So now I'm like, my first thing I say coming in is like, I'm sorry. And you see the little, traitorous Alliance tabard on my back. I'm always a Alliance player at heart, but I don't really care. Like the Horde is actually quite cool. I've never really played their areas in great detail, where I played them more like, again, from the other side. So there's a temptation in this, as much as I call myself a melee only hunter, to actually be that. Like, people will be confused too in the comments and stuff later on, I'm sure, like, oh, how can it be melee only? You have a pet, or you're using engineering stuff. But that obviously, I think I was pretty clear up front. Like, that's obviously pertaining to my abilities. I can't use ranged abilities. I can't use a bow. Because if you say, oh, you're a melee hunter, it doesn't mean that you can't still use your bow. Like, oh, your focus is on melee, but you just, you choose to use your bow only a little bit. Here, it's like you just don't have one equipped. You never have one. That's it. Even as a stat stick, I won't even do it. So we're sort of repulsed by the idea of using range stuff. So today's theme is sort of like, we're sort of downtrodden, still depressed over the loss of our first pet, which was the raptor. And it's almost like one of those real life analogy moments. Like you just broke up with your girlfriend or your partner or whatever, and you get drunk in a bar, and that's how you found your soulmate that you stayed with forever. Now, is that because they're actually that perfect for you, or is that just because you're desperate and whatever, you're just wanting to feel better about it? So it's the same thing with the pet here. It's like we might stumble upon one and just do it just because we just want one, not because it's really the one that I would have preferred. I wasn't expecting that to happen. You know what I mean? Like we thought we were ready for a pet. Our trainer thought we were ready. The world, kind of gave us their approval as far as the hunter trainer and whatnot. But we truly weren't within ourselves ready, because we didn't even know how to feed it, which again, in my defense, that's not really my fault, because I didn't know that would happen. Or, you have to go to Orgrimmar, and of course my RP ways prevented me from doing that for several episodes after that. So we were just kind of starving it out without meaning to. There's a few odds and ends I have to do here to that's the best way to explain why we went here specifically. Like, why not go to Thunder Bluff or Mulgore or something, but then that would lead to the Barrens anyway. It's sort of to cope with the loss of, to face your fears, you have to look them right in the eye. Like, we have to face death itself in the Forsaken to we really make them like tiny by comparison, and we're not even a Tauren. You have to face the undead areas. It has a certain resonance to it. So this is to do with obviously the Barrens. This is to do with Fizzle, who I still didn't kill. We'll be back for him though. And look, it's still level appropriate. It's still yellow even though I'm 14. So some of the stuff in the starting areas you kind of underestimate. This is also in the Durotar by the thing. Stone Mountains is a long ways away. Some of these I wanted to do just anyway. It's almost like we have to get to friendly in order to gain entry to the Undercity, just to... That is kind of like a cool organic unlock condition, because the other ones were already friendly, so you wouldn't have to worry about it. It's just because the undead are such outcasts, everybody hates them, they hate everybody else. It's just not nice. Actually, we have a lot to do. We have the Agaman Mills. We have Scarlet Crusade thing. We have the Magistrate Severin and Brill. So I used that 10 sort of just to rest. So today it's not optional. I thought I would come here, I came here at the end of the Orgrimmar episode, and then the last time I thought, oh, I would end up in the Sepulchre, and I would sleep there, and that would be kind of where I'd leave off. But there was so much stuff here that I felt compelled to do that, now today we have to end in the Sepulchre. There's no question about it, because like I do have that condition where like, oh, I have to leave off in a different area each time, and I'm not going to get rested experience. There's so many conditions to this. See, this is what I mean. Like, I can't just play something the way that other people would. Not only is it not like an on rails try to get to 60 as quickly as possible, there's like a million formats within the thing. So I'm not going to get rest, like not going to log out in a place that would give you rest. And then who am I turning this into? Or I think it's the guy in the whatever, the mayor's office or something. And there was like that really cool book about sort of name dropping so many different things, Malagos and the Seven Dragon aspect. And the reason why it's there is not because of the Forsaken. It's there, like, that wouldn't be an Orgrimmar probably, because the orcs don't read, or they're too stupid, or they don't care. It's there because this used to be the human area, so of course there's going to be a lot of books like that. It's kind of a nice incidental cause. And so therefore, you know, like Scarlet Monastery has a lot of stuff like that too. Right, if you want to read some of the best books in Classic, that's where to find them. Return to the Magistrate. It's troubling to hear that the Scourge slipping past the Bulwark, even though they're not, because the only Scourge immediately past there are like the fucking level 50 bears and stuff, so you would know it. The Lich King and his minions are ceaseless in their assaults, but we will not give in. He will not take us again. Yeah, I like how flexible he is. Like, oh, he's using the knolls. He's using, you know, just whatever is in the area. It's almost like a lazy design mechanic too, like in Anthem where they say, oh, the scars take on the form of whatever is in their natural environment. Like, you know, so like, of course, the Scourge just take anything that's living and just make it undead. There you go. Like, although this is one of the coolest starting areas for sure. Like, just the whole vibe of the undead areas is so foreboding. It doesn't feel like, oh, you're just level 10 or 1 or whatever. We got this lucky fish thing, and then we got something else weird from fishing. The last 2 times, I've only fished like twice in the last couple episodes, or maybe once more. But both times I got this thing and the last one in Durotar before I left. What are the chances of that? There was one puddle of water that I hadn't fished in, so I was like, let's just do it for the fishing completionist challenge. And I happened to get this. And then the next time I do it here, I get like a bracers, which is not like that super rare or super good, but it's just kind of interesting that you're getting items like that. We can check on the Bulwark. We always like to qualify like they're letting us sleep here because we agreed to do that quest for them, like with the alligator chick in the Barrens who lost her kid. One time I'm gonna go AFK and it's gonna really get me in trouble because of, like, you know, Diablo Immortal ended like that. I totally wouldn't have lost otherwise. Whereas just the original Diablo, first playthrough permadeath, that was actually just my fault. In fact, it wasn't just first playthrough, it was second playthrough too. Like, it still counts because I hadn't beaten it, but it's amazing how much you could cheese with that idea. So we'll do the Bulwark one first out of respect for that. This is like at some farmstead by the thing. Deaths in the family. So a lot of these have to do with the mills. I don't know where this one actually is. Has it? They can be found in the eastern Tirisfal Glades, which is pretty vague. Like, yeah, we'll start with those ones. We'll do the mill, and then we'll do the, I don't know where this one is either. Or this is the one, Ruined Tower. This is like outside Undercity. So some of these haven't even given me experience and things like that. This thing is a demon, so you couldn't tame it even if you wanted to. I had a vague inkling to get a bat because I just felt like, you know, it's going to be a case where there's some sort of overlap with trolls and bats. Although there, you know, like in ZG, there's somebody who has like bats with them, or I'm just trying to find some RP extrapolation reason for like why that would be the case. You even have the beast on our radar, so I don't know what pet I'm going to get, but it feels appropriate that it's about time. In fact, I thought I would get it last time, but I also thought I would go to Silverpine Forest last time, so I guess we are stretching it out even more than I expected. But then again, it's not that unreasonable. Like, these episodes are just shorter than maybe what they should be. They wanted me to check in with somebody in the Bulwark, didn't they? Or is it just... No, they kind of want me to stay away maybe from that. I should still check it out, but imagine we fucking... Nothing's gonna aggro from there. Or even if it does, there's guards and stuff, but this is like a big no-no. You really shouldn't even bother. You shouldn't go there, but there'll be quests that are actually relevant to us. Like, watch. We'll just look over the thing. The level 50 bear comes through and aggroes through this shit. Or they'll be all like just dismissive, like, shoo, you're not ready for this shit yet. Argent Dawn, Argent whatever. Join the fight against evil. Accept a commission within the Argent Dawn today. Are you sure you're asking the right person, though? At war with them, an organization focused on protecting Azeroth from the threat of the Scourge. Strongholds of the Argent Dawn can be found in the eastern and western Plaguelands, and even in the Tirisfal Glades, apparently. And yeah, see, this is the human... Wait. This is the human coalition with them, so nobody seems to give a shit. Right, like, that's the one thing they can bring everybody together.
Well met.
It just feels out of place seeing that.
Greetings.
Or is it not? No, it's totally a human. Well met, friend. I'm Officer Garouche, and I'm a proud member of the worldwide organization known as the Argent Dawn. Are you really worldwide? Like, what presence do you have in Kalimdor? But I guess the reason why is because there's not too many Scourge there at all. Our cause is to fight swiftly and mercilessly against any element that surfaces in Azeroth. We are not a political body, nor do we ever wish to become one. Our cause is singular, and that is to end both the Horde and the Alliance as friends. Friends, the cause of stamping out evil. For the Dawn, my sister.
For the Horde. Well met.
Count the number. Yeah, either this has to bring them together, or like a common enemy, or just greed does. Capitalism is the ultimate equalizer, like with the goblins.
What would you
how they
ask
protect you
of
from
death?
fighting each other in the cities. Welcome to the front lines, Hunter. While politicians may connive and scheming amongst themselves, they'll find no such luxury afforded to them here. This is the bulwark, and we fight or continued survival here on a daily basis. If you've come looking for a chance to prove yourself a hero, you'll find plenty of opportunities to do so, especially as we push towards Anderhall and whatever malign force that controls the Scourge there.
Embrace the shadow.
That's like one of those elite lich enemies that you find, whose name I forgot. A fierce wind is coming. I can tell by the ache in my exposed knee. What the fuck? This is the original. I took an arrow to the knee. I used to be an adventurer like you. I just hope we don't get caught up in it. What a random... I guess, you know, everything is exposed because you're undead and you don't have skin. I like what the skinning trainer says there, actually. Like, she's kind of reveling over skinning because he's like, the only way I can touch and feel skin anymore is by ripping it off the dead bodies of beasts, like the skinning trainer. So, because I don't have any of my own, something like that. Leatherworking supplies, just kind of random trainers. It would almost be fitting to, you know, be a skinning leather worker, but I wouldn't dare walk over there. See, my desire just to explore and do weird stuff is going to get me in trouble. It's amazing how much you could have played this game, like me, and still not... I guess you could rest here, actually, but that just doesn't make a whole lot of sense. Like, it doesn't mean you have to do it in a different zone each time. It just means you have to do, like, a different little house or structure out in the wilderness or in a town, but just not the inn, where you're going to get rest.
Well met.
Bardew Sharpeye. Hello, Hunter. I've set up camp here at the Bulwark to make my preparations for my journey into the Plaguelands. I've heard rumor of a great human wizard took up residency in Hearthglen not terribly long ago. He was commissioned by the Scarlet Crusade to fashion their warriors and hunters new bows and guns. A mage, though. Why that? What, he's like their vending machine equivalent. Instead of making food, he's making them weapons and stuff, bows and guns. It said that, and we are already... we're already scared because like we have that PTSD response of not liking bows and guns, which is why we don't use them either. So we're already out of our element here. Fashion their warriors and hunters with new bows and guns, but humans can't be hunters. It said that he completed a remarkable weapon before the Crusade killed him. I guess their mistrust of the arcane has grown.
May the eternal sun shine.
What would you ask of
Shadow Priestess Vandus. The time has come, my sister in arms, to take back the night from the Scourge. Yeah, not yet. Wait about another 100 episodes and another 40 levels. Look how you're hiding back here.
What do you
Mickey
require?
Levine. My family worked the North... Now, this is a typo. Look, there's two spaces there. The North Ridge Lumber Mill, what's now the Western Plaguelands. They were dedicated to the Duma family, and now the Scarlet Crusade has taken it over along with Hearthglen. I will not rest until those zealots are wiped from Azeroth. As if you need, like, a specific motivation like that. Like, you wouldn't just be mad about being undead in the first place, and... I like how every race does have, like, their own little mortal enemies, even if some of them are comical. Like, what was the troll's mortal enemy? In a manner of speaking, it was Murlocs. That's who killed Sen'jin. Or, like, by extension, Azshara, because she was the one who they were working for, I guess. They talk about the chick under the sea that they work for, but they're very vague. Warcraft 3. And then, you know, the Tauren have the Centaur, which is just very geographically sensible. And then the Orcs have, like... I mean, it's almost like orcs versus humans. It's part of the thing, but I guess some of them are more broad. I'm surprised you even aggroed from that far. Yeah, wing clip should be super effective. This is one by Pokemon terms. Stuff that actually has wings, like Rock Smash or something. Knocks them right out of the air. You do actually have a decent amount of melee abilities that I guess I never thought about with all the survival hunter slander over the years. It's a case where it's actually not that bad. So we can pick up a mine like this. right? But we can't pick up the same one twice, and I'm trying not to linger in areas too long, but it's really hard not to, because I'm trying to also be a completionist, so it's quite a contradiction. I had my little nightmare at mods in the fucking Murloc thing. I love how that bridges together my experience too. I had a little scare as a kid when I first started playing the game, when I saw that, in what little time I played the Horde, just like whatever, level 1 to 17 on the warrior, undead warrior and stuff. But yeah, I saw a mod and all the fucking Murlocs around, and like they all aggro together. And then we come back all these years later, just, where's mod? Where's mod? And then we kill a bunch of Murlocs and try to open a chest, and then he spawns right in. I'm gonna be up to the Scarlet Monastery, but actually not. This is still like a tower. It's weird how it's giving me ahead to the one right in front of Brill. Like, that's not really relevant to what I'm doing. Yeah, you might think, oh, I'm over leveling or something, but it's really not a very efficient way to do that even if you were. It's gonna totally catch up with us, and it's gonna kind of kick our ass. And this is disobeying my rule of 2 thing too. I mean, fight stuff 2 or less. Never fight 2 things at once, and also never fight stuff 2 above you and stuff. You know, that ability could tear through me. I don't know why it's so good. Whenever you have extra mana, you can totally just spam Wing Clip. We're gonna get Mongoose Bite at some point, maybe level 16 coming up. So that'll reward my mitigation a little bit, which isn't actually that good. 16 for that and 10 for this. So the real reason isn't like, oh, that's so good because we're mitigating damage, although that's decent. Because I do want to tank it and not have my pet do that, which is why a ranged pet would be suitable. We'll be a melee hunter with a ranged pet, the ultimate irony, and we'll be tanking. But that'll be good because it'll activate 2 different abilities. We'll have Mongoose Bite half the time, and then the other time we'll have Counterattack, neither of which have like long cooldowns or anything, so these guys don't run away in fear, I don't think. Why do I feel so weak? Like, obviously, melee hunter, but something does seem maybe weaker than normal. Or these guys are just tankier than other things. Look at this. This doesn't feel like how a level 10 should go. What's going on? He dodged right there. We could have done it. I never would have thought I would find that so satisfying. Like, once we get Mongoose Bite plus that. So I am only allowed to put points in survival. For the simple fact that, you know, even... It's not just because of melee. I just don't want the pet to be OP. Like, I thought, oh, I'll do Beast Mastery. I can rely on the pet. That's almost how I started, and then I changed my mind about a lot of things. First, I was using the bow. I wasn't using the hardcore add-on, and then people wanted me to use that, so then I said, fuck it, I'll make a character class out of it too, and then I won't use the bow, and then maybe I'll use a pet, maybe I won't use a pet, maybe I'll use Beast Mastery. Now I decided to do, you know, only survival. There's so many considerations with this. I'm actually able to use 2-handed axes, and I even had a green one, but it was only like level 5. Maybe it wasn't that good, but I put it in my bank, and we're not going to go to the Undercity, or I'm not allowed to go to it. So that's a pretty reasonable unlock condition, though. Just get to friendly, and I'm sure we'll do that within Silverpine Forest. At some point, we got to go back. We'll get to level 20, and then we'll take out Fizzle Darkstorm. It's amazing that quest is still yellow, though, so you can't really blame me for not doing it. All these debuffs are what are gonna... There's some crazy ones. Like, it'll be all attributes reduced by 50%. There's just some weird random interactions like that with some enemies. The biggest thing that could get you killed is just aggroing stuff back to back or too many at once. Although Wing Clip is a great savior at this point. We got a couple potions from some NPC outside Brill, like on the back side. I swear that level 8 bat had more awareness than this dude. You'd almost just do that once and then you can do whatever you want, but there's not much purpose to kite. Or I guess you could kite, like do it like, okay, I'm gonna kite, wait for the Raptor Strike thing, do it, then go away. This will totally turn into a meta thing. Because yeah, there's no downside to doing it, and you're always getting your highest damage ability off every time. So mana could actually become an issue because of how much I want to spam this for any sort of the bear, but I didn't learn how to use 2-handed swords. How much better is that? 7.1 2 stamina. I mean, it is better. It's kind of shocking that I wouldn't be using a 2-handed weapon by now, but yeah, we'll be able to dual wield before we ever do that. Damn it, I was just talking about that too, and I think you have to learn that in the Undercity. Or maybe I could have learned it in Orgrimmar, but I'm not going to like go back to stuff like that without prompting. There's got to be a good reason for it. We'll go back to show off our pet once we get it. or something like that. There has to be some in-story reason for doing it. Right, like that's what true RP is about. Just like everything has to have a justification or an explanation for why you're doing it. You can't just randomly do stuff. Yeah, this one's pretty good. We'll do this. This is the mill. This is something apparently in the east. This one's by Undercity, and then the rest is just the rest is going to be by the mill, or again, those gloom weeds are kind of just in random spots. Although I haven't noticed any here, so maybe they're only in like that area where he gives you the quest. So our wings are clipped multiple times over. We don't have a pet. We don't have a bow. We don't have even a two-handed weapon. We don't have abilities. We have nothing. I want to get a bomb in engineering that actually lets me stun them. That's what's going to be really good. I have a decent amount of money too, but I mean, if I get friendly, I won't say I won't go to Undercity to learn the sword thing, but then we'll do a whole nother episode like that. I should do it like every 10 levels. Once I get to level 20 something, we'll go to Undercity. Once I get to level 30 something, I'll go to Thunder Bluff. I'm not going to do it like back to back, because that could have been like 3 episodes in a row where you're just kind of clowning around and just, you know. And this almost gets to the point where if you're fighting stuff your own level, you could just use your racial every single fight. You might have to do that because of how weak you are and how unfair it can be. And I love how I'm doing this for raw damage. That wing clip DPS is on fleek. Oh, here we go, dude. It's a bad decision, and he's gonna have some crazy ability. Really craving Mongoose Bite. I don't know if it was just that I couldn't afford it, or if it was like, as long as you have potions, at least I feel secure. I have bandages too, but not really the sort of thing you're gonna use in combat. Or in leather pants. I shouldn't just loot everything because again, I can't just destroy stuff at will, so I have to be careful now. I can always eat and drink. I can't make bandages out in the wild. But a lot of stuff I'm only allowed to do in towns. Yay, a rare spawn. Are you fucking... Look at how the rare spawns are like a magnet to me, dude. Now I'd be tempted to even kill that. He runs out of mana pretty fast. If I actually had a pet or something, I could do it. Or I guess it is easier to find rare spawns here than you would expect, for the simple reason that you're able to have them all to yourself, because of course the game is so dead. And I'm not even talking about because I'm in the undead areas. So it's a bad idea, because what's going to happen is he's got that ability. He kind of goes right at some point, as he was about to. It's not a good decision, but I'm tempted to try it. We can use a potion. Let's just kind of clear this area a little bit, though. I wasn't even asking for it, but it's the kind of thing I would want to do anyway. Level 12 versus 1. I guess we can see how much damage we're really doing to it. It just feels wrong to skip over stuff like that. If it's an elite, obviously I can understand, but look how much I'm struggling to kill even just a level 10. So killing a level 12 period would be difficult. Never mind that. I don't know about this. Basically, I'll get it to the point where I have to pop a potion, and then I'll run away. I won't try to fight through it. Look how he's padding around. Maybe he just respawned, but there's nobody killing these, so there's nothing to really respawn from. So we'll have the racial. You should almost save the racial till you get low, and then do it, right? Because then it's better, and then use the potion after, and then die. Sometimes I'll just start the fight with it just out of sheer impatience and desire to get the fight over quickly. He's coming back. I could decide to do this if I really want. He went at some point, but I was almost dead at that point. But like, that's one way to pull at a range, because like, oh, I can't use throwing knives, or I can't use bows and guns, but I can use bombs. He was hitting a pretty decent amount. I could pull him once again just to test it and then do it. Like, there's no risk of me dying if I just, you know, sort of wing clip him at the get-go. So I'll wait a little bit, and then what I'll do is I'll decide to use the racial later. So it'll look fine for a while, but then he'll spam his abilities now. Oh, this should be doable if you use the potion, but he's going to do some crazy thing. 29. But it took him a second to do it. Oh, this guy's not even so bad. I don't even have to use my racial. What is that? To spam the wing clip. I love this infinite activatable ability. Oh, what a joke of a guy. Losing to a fucking hunter without a bow, gun, anything. Pat, 39 is better. We can eat. Oh, man. I was getting all scared. Because some level 12s alone can give you a hard time. Like those crocodiles, or at least relatives of what level you are. If they're within the yellow, it can be dangerous already. So this is good. I gotta stop just looting stuff blindly though. Yeah, we had like a little mini boss encounter already. We killed quite a few rare spawns. Actually, I killed one in Durotar. I killed 2 of the Lost Souls. I was about to kill Maud, but he just had too many allies in the fucking Murloc area. Always quantity over quality with them. They feel like insects. I was comparing that, like in the real world, like when would people ever allow this many hostile things to be out there? But there's like literally millions of them everywhere in the water. Every body of water in the world just has them there. Yeah, it's one of those comical things, like in Skyrim, there's more enemies in the world even without respawns than there are NPCs. So wouldn't you always feel unsafe and like, how can everybody be so happy-go-lucky in town and stuff when there's like a million bears and hostile shit out there? So it's the same thing here. Like there's more Murlocs than there are people, than there are like any of the actual races. Probably gonna be some chest here. Water barrel. I don't even see where it is. I don't want to check in the barn, but that can sometimes get you in trouble. At least once we get like... Oh shit, kind of snuck up on me. Or now the rare spawn will respawn. He was padding around too in a very scary way. So if you let yourself get too low from these, like, oh, it's no big deal. It's only a level 10. What's the worst that can happen? Then that's exactly what does happen. He'll just finish you off. Like to get some chest or something from here, even though like a rare spawn's not enough. You don't even have to go looking for it. You just take your time and it'll come to you. You don't have to compete for resources like the whole MMO trope, because there are no people to compete against. And out of deference to being a hunter, we try not to kill the little critters like that. We're almost level 15 just from even killing these. And I'm not going to be able to find a hunter trainer for a while, because you can only do it. This is almost like the inverse of the wetlands run, but it's not so bad. In fact, what would be worse is if you were trying to do it the other way. If you're a Tauren, you're forced to do that run no matter what. You have to go through the Barrens, Camp Tarajo, put yourself at risk. Or like for some reason, I feel like they give you free passage to, fuck, I keep doing it. They give you free passage from Thunderbluff to Orgrimmar, but they don't do it the other way, so I'm not sure actually how that works. Or I always confuse stuff that you get like in later expansions. 8 out of 8. I just need one more of these, and then I don't even have to worry about... When you want them to aggro, they won't. What was that sound? Oh, somebody else? Wait, what the fuck? I just walked right into him. Yeah, you could totally kite just for your ability. Like, do that, then get away. Then wait for it to be back up, which I didn't even properly do. Yeah, what was the chance I found 2 of those Lost Soul rare spawns back to back, like 5 seconds apart? I don't know if that's a bug or if they're really meant to be not that rare. Kind of giving the player mixed messages, like, oh, this is supposed to be a big deal. We'll check inside the barn, but we're done with this. So the only other thing we have to do is the mills. Or the mills, the Scarlet Crusade, by the Undercity. And then the... What's the other one? Or there'll be something that tells me to kill Murlocs too. This is going to take forever. Like, it's not that, oh, I'm trying to do every single quest here too, but it's just, it feels appropriate to sort of earn your passage either to the Undercity or to Silverpine Forest. Sometimes you'll put yourself at greater risk though, because you are fighting lower level stuff, so you take it kind of a little bit easier. Yeah, if you're about to die and you want to fight through it, which you shouldn't do in the first place, you can always do it. Oh shit. You can always do it like with the racial here. Or those are the worst situations to be out in. Like you get caught out like where I'm gonna run away, but you can't because you're surrounded by enemies, like the Thunder Lizard moment in the Thunder Ridge. You can't run from Fizzle Darkstorm or the guy with the Void Walker because they're behind you. Or like you can juke them if you're as badass as me, but it's not a good idea. You'll walk in here and you'll immediately have a jump scare moment where like 5 things aggro. There's a chest I'm looking for, but there's no enemies in here. And it's not like somebody could have killed them before. Or watch, they'll be tied like the Murlocs. There'll be like 50 things that attack me. That could be an unprotected chest, and of course I can't take anything from there. Silver bar could be very valuable for engineering purposes because we're gonna have a limit. Well, that we can always make, but some of the stuff is just weird, like a copper tube and weird stuff. So we got a chest, we got a rare spawn, so that makes it feel like a satisfactory area experience. I don't know what's over here. Let's just check it out. This is the only time we'll be hearing this music because we won't hear it when we're dead. Only time we'll see like a graveyard-esque experience, although this isn't really a graveyard that you spawn from. You'll get to the Scarlet Monastery one. That must have confused a lot of people. Like, why am I spawning here? You know, you're just dying in Tristfall Glades. That has nothing to do with the Scarlet Monastery, but it just might be the closest one. Why are these ones getting me so low? Even the rare spawn guy didn't get me that low. Nice aesthetic to this little gardening project. Yeah, I do have bandages and stuff, so I'm too lazy to eat most of the time. Coming from a mage who would always have to eat and drink after every single encounter. Of course, there's that big plot twist, like with, oh, was this really the water barrel that I was looking at from before? I didn't even see where it was, but I just kind of moused over it. Like Balnazar or whatever, the guy took over the Scarlet Crusade. That's why they behave so crazy, as if they need an excuse like that. Like, oh, you always blame somebody else. It's not Balnazar's fault. It's your fault. Like, why would you, do what he wants, even if you don't know it's him? And then Mal'Ganis keeps coming back. Like, the Dreadlords just have that quality of being recyclable characters. One of these things is just going to do some random ability that's going to completely roll me over, and I'm not going to be paying attention. It's like, oh, it's only a level 10. What's the worst that it could do? We don't have to go back to the Bulwark. It just almost felt appropriate to, like they would give you quests there to do stuff here, which doesn't make sense. Like, oh, we're busy guarding the, the rear guard for the Bulwark, so we have to pick up the slack on this side for them, or I'll be looking at the map or something. So Gordo's task, Scarlet Crusade. Yeah, let's go make a pit stop in Brill, sell all this stuff, and then we can do that one in front of the Undercity, and then we can also do one in front of the get the Gloomweed, although I am having trouble actually finding it. I think it would show up if you're a herbalist, right, on the thing, but I'm not allowed to track for minerals either. I have to find them just manually, and again, I'm not allowed to take more than one of the same one. What is this little camp called even with Lynn in it? I guess I could change to humanoid tracking since that's what I'm going to be fighting, although not necessarily, because some of them are going to be undead, and you do get that later, the whole undead tracking. Yeah, we're not going to worry about Undercity yet. I was thinking, oh, I'm going to end up turning into a healer for my pet, right? Like an actual Pokemon trainer. A mindset, like a character build. This is what a Warcraft Pokemon trainer would look like, because you rely on your pet completely and you're so shitty because you're just using melee. You're almost just, putting your fate in their hands. We can turn this in, although I don't have much room to take stuff if there is a reward. Although there is a shop here now. Fishing supplies. Or yeah, I should take it further with the RP, like, oh, you can only sell stuff to people who would logically buy it, so only fishing related stuff could be sold to them. That might be a little bit too much. This is the sort of thing I would use add-ons for, like, to make stuff like that a factor. This one I'll keep. A lot of this stuff doesn't matter. Fisherman's knife, if you want to skin your fish, I guess, in RP. We could sell this to her, I guess that's appropriate.
I haven't got all day.
Oh shit, they say the same thing back to back. Very good. Your efforts do much to keep the scourge at bay. A commendation will be sent to my superior, Executor Zygan.
Victory for Sylvanas.
But actually, the only thing we wanted was to be able to sleep there last time. They always take our word. Let us sleep here for the night for free, and then we'll just do a job for you. So we have 3 things left to do. Scarlet, Gloomweed, and that. It's not like I'm in even a rush to get out of here, but just... I wasn't expecting this to go on. I thought it would go on only for part of last episode, but now it went on for last episode, this episode, and then now we're hoping that we can get to the Sepulchre, but I might still not be able to. But I like don't even feel like going back to that dry desert called Durotar anytime soon. And once we start getting the contested areas, what you have to worry about is like, oh, we'll be trying to do a quest in Stone Talon Peak and then get myself killed by some of the, you know, guards there. There'll be some stupid interaction like that. Right, I loved Rexxar, like the wandering elite out in the world. There was another one like that, no? Right, I guess the Horde's version of Rexxar, wandering in Desolus, and then the Alliance's version of like sort of a skull NPC in a weird location that's not a major city, or like the main city at least, is the fact of Jaina and Theramore. Wait a second. How is it not discovered if I was already there? I try not to use the map in the quest log too much, but I'm kind of confused now. Or I guess it just doesn't mark anything on your map. Like, we totally been there. I even remember that. I had that epiphany moment. Like, why did I have so much trouble attacking Undercity as an Alliance player compared to Orgrimmar? Because, oh, you have that South Fury River bridge. You can attack from the rear and sort of, you know, get a better vantage point and not have to pass through the bank where all the try-hard show-off players are. But the difference was that I forgot about this one, where you can go through the little cave here in the back where the bat flies out of. So every city has, like, some strategic weakness that they put there just for convenience or something. Like, that bridge is so much weaker than going through the front entrance. Not because of the guards necessarily, because there's guards there too, but because of the players. We already did this area, but I didn't know I was going to get a quest for it, and we're right on the brink of Silverpine Forest too, but I am doing it in a very methodical way. And of course, it's not like, oh, we're going to get so much money that it'll make it a breeze, because your money's always going to be short. Just... in fact, I can barely keep up with learning spells, so that's maybe an upside of... Aren't there some Scarlet stuff here too? Like, why are they here? What are they doing in the trees and stuff? It's so random. They're still relevant to the thing. Missionary. Speaking of attacking from the rear, it almost gives us that idea, right, in RP. We're thinking, how do we approach this very well-fortified Scarlet Fort? And then we see the back entrance to the Undercity, and we have a moment of thought, like, oh, maybe we should do that. Like, the same way that the Alliance would attack here. We could attack from behind. Actual quality RP moment. Everything has to have, like, an explanation. I find a way to make RP even when I don't do it, like, traditionally anymore. That's why I didn't like the whole GTA RP kind of cult of personality shit, because it's not even gatekeeping RP. It's just, like, clearly the best people who have done it their whole lives and who've done it for years and come up with these elaborate stories and put so much effort into it and do voices and this and that, you know, like professional acting level stuff, they don't get the attention or they don't get the priority, but then like XQC does, even though he's not a role player or whatever. It's just sometimes it's weird. So got to take both of these. I do want to have my mana back. This does look at the same icon as the Darkhound almost. Yeah, those are demons, which is confusing. You would almost think of them as undead. In fact, I don't even understand what the explanation for them would be then. Why would there be demons here? It's one thing if it's like an undead dog. Look how she kind of sneaks up on me there, but this should be no problem. Or I'll use a potion if it does become one. The biggest annoyance here is when they just run away. 39. What is our crit chance? All of our stats are just annoyingly low, like 4%. But we get it twice in 2 fights though. Or yeah, this totally increases your chance because you're getting more hits off, so you'll crit with a you'll crit with a fucking wing clip for like 8. But yeah, that was kind of comical. We're looking through one of the shops like that sells beer and stuff, like alcohol, and all of it is like from Dwarven Stout, Darnassian this, like all the Alliance stuff. So it's like the Alliance are degenerate alcoholics where even the Horde have to get all their stuff from them. It's not like, well, you only have to kill 3 of each of those. You know, the Horde didn't have like any alcohol to themselves. They just drink the stuff, but they don't make it. Or like, which race would you associate with doing that the most? I almost think of orcs or maybe undead. Well, the undead will just go right through them. I don't know how it works. They don't eat, they don't sleep necessarily. Or I mean, they eat to heal up, which I don't know how much sense that makes. Or like now they'll send me back again to open the chest. You definitely need the racial for this one. We did do that kind of in a sneaky backhanded way, almost like I'm a rogue. I have to use our wits, right? We have to be a hunter in a more traditional sense. Take away your greatest advantage so that you, if you're nothing without your bow, you don't deserve it. If you're nothing without your pet, you don't deserve it. So we are almost 15. I'm surprised. So like we'll get to literally level 20 somehow just in the starting zones alone. Even though that's almost impossible, or it would only be possible through the dungeons. Like if you keep getting run through RFC, or if you get fucking SM could get you much higher. Yeah, like how high could you get just from SM alone? Like if you get to, it could take you from like level 20 to like level 40 plus. If you just, like if it's a Quillboar challenge, like get from 1 to 60 just killing boars like in South Park. So get from like 1 to 40 just from Scarlet Monastery by killing the Scarlet Crusade only. The Gloomweed and all the rest of the Agaman Mills. Oh, I keep forgetting about the spider thing. Where the fuck could that be? I have no idea. It's in the east, but you don't want to go up there because that's just going to be the Scarlet Monastery. I actually have no idea where it is. Wait, what? He made the sound, but he didn't actually aggro when he made it. Okay, I'm already ready for this not to go out. I could use a potion, but I almost want to kill her and then get out of there and then come back. Oh, this is where Wing Clip actually kind of hurts you because... I mean, I can obviously pop the potion, but I don't want to waste it. Guy doesn't seem worthy of it unless he has some crazy ability. We already killed him before, too. It was a more dynamic quest system. Like, if you already kill them, you get credit for it preemptively. Like, you know, this item begins a quest. That could actually be such a good system for, like, an open world thing. Right, like in Skyrim, you'll do something on your own without a quest. You're just doing it, you're exploring. But then you get an item or some interaction from it. That'd be good just to sell, I guess, but... So far faced with that, there's no real limit on eating or restriction on eating. But you should have to eat just for, like, survival purposes. You could climb to the top. There's nothing really up there. Or no, actually you can't. That was a different one. I had this weird memory of like knocking somebody off a tower with Blast Wave, but then I come to find out you couldn't do that until later on, right? It didn't have a knockback in vanilla. Like all these different things you confuse, like, oh yeah, there's so many good ways to troll people, which if you try to do that against a big streamer, they'll ban you, like advertise or something, mind control them off a cliff or whatever. I appreciate at least the creativity that goes into it sometimes. Right, like, oh, all these people are out to get you, but at the same time, a lot of people are out to help you, so which is it? You gotta take the good with the bad sometimes. Rumor has it they can be found in eastern Tirisfal Glade, so unless it's by the Bulwark, which I don't see anywhere, that it could be, or I'm assuming it's gonna be in a cave, but it doesn't have to be. They could be down by the bottom, they could be up somewhere. By the tower. You don't have to fear the monastery too much, I guess, because this is still a tower with like level 10s and stuff. I'm sure other quests will send us all around, so we'll be here all day basically. I almost was trying not to discover Undercity itself, which that still doesn't count, but or I guess we would have had to discover that on the way to Silverpine anyway. Let me try to find the Gloomweed and see what other quests they give me here. That must be for Brill, right? But who is me? Thygand, I think. So many of these I'm killing just for the sake of it. Yeah, I don't really understand the demon thing here. Kalimdor has 99 problems, but demons aren't one because I always said the Scourge aren't one because the only Scourge presence I can think of is RFK with the guy, you know, Rage, Winter Chill, or whatever his name is. Rast, Frost Whisper, I always confuse their names. Level 6 aggro's that diligently, but I guess just beasts are attracted to me, but it's not even a beast. Meanwhile, like a level 9, I'll walk right up to it and it doesn't. So there are some weird things with this. I'm a master of leashing, and I'm not even talking about my own pet, like, you know, just kiting stuff. It works in a very weird way sometimes. 4.3 is not better than mine. It would just be a good way to flex, I guess, the fact that we can... Oh, that is actually better than mine. This I would almost want to keep as a keepsake for the fishing thing. I think it was this that we got. But the problem is the space issue, so I just got to be more selective with what I pick up. Just don't pick up everything that you see. It's okay with the 4 slots. These bags have been sort of torturous. Or I wouldn't even mind just buying a bag from the... This one we got from a drop, from an NPC. And that's the only one we've gotten like that. But this one we got from a random quest like in Razor Hill.
Watch your back.
For this, I think I already learned. Some of this stuff I just do for the sake of it. If we come upon it, I feel compelled to do it. Of course, this guy's on like a dread steed, so it doesn't even make sense. Like, what is he, a warlock? This isn't like a normal mount that you could ride otherwise. Isn't it?
I am forsaken.
Death will undoubtedly please the Dark Lady. You have performed your duty well. You're still at war, and the Scarlet Crusade grows in strength. The report Aaron sent me says the Scarlet Crusaders have been raiding from the ruined tower in the southeastern Tirisfal near the battle near Farnstead under the command of Captain Vakon. Kill Vakon along with 5 Scarlet Friars. It should prove a devastating blow to the Crusade.
Beware.
Okay. This might help me find the spider thing too. So definitely, let's do the Gloomweed. It's somewhere along the path here. I just can't remember. We may as well get that over with. And then we got the mills, and then we got... This is kind of confusing me how many of these we have, dude. Holy shit. Yeah, let's just do those two since we're in the vicinity, right? The mills are here. And then we have 2 things to do on the east, the Scarlet Crusade and the spiders. Sometimes kind of hard to catch, but you never have to worry about other people picking them up because, you know, there are no other people for the most part. We have to learn tracking in a more organic sense, like just, you know, do it by sight. Just like we have to do with the mining nodes anyway. It does overlap with engineering pretty well, but I feel like there's sometimes some under here, but I don't see where. Fuck. Okay, I'm not gonna steal it from them. Yeah, I'm even mocking like, oh, you won't have to compete for resources because everything's dead. Server's dead anyway. That's one thing I'm surprised by this more than anything. You don't notice it, I guess, as much otherwise. That trolls are so much bigger than so many of the other races. In fact, all of them. Except for Taurens. Even just compared to a human or even compared to an orc. We get 2 of those back to back. You're gonna have to fight this guy for it. Or somebody's gonna pick it up while I'm in the middle of combat. There should always be an honor system, like, oh, I'm looting a chest. You don't want it to feel like, oh, they cleared the way for me to get to the chest that I couldn't have gotten to otherwise. I would have had to die, or I wouldn't have been able to do it. So you shouldn't be able to benefit from stuff like that either. And we have the guy right around here too to turn it into, the Gordo who patrols around. Gives me maybe PTSD of like Darkshire fucking Duskwood, because, you know, that guy would come and fucking kill you. I forget his name. Just a random elite that patrols the path. Or wait, isn't it him who has that? Why did that one suddenly come up? The hidden enemies. Gordo's task. Oh, you gotta go back to the Brill Graveyard. I guess I'll just wait then. Okay, so mills, east, East Mills. Okay, that's it. So let's just do all of them. Although I won't have room for the remains because this is gonna be stupid. Okay, basically I just have to not loot anything. I'll have to do it in a couple different tries. Or what I should have done is actually do it in such a way that I'm able to like make the bandages and just sell them. There's no rule against that, but obviously I have to be in town to do it. I like this whole sleeping meta RP that I created though. It forces me to kind of keep the playthrough moving, but also, you know, to find and appreciate some interesting little empty houses and random outposts along the way. There's too many of the goddamn remains, and they might just take up one, you know, one space for each, so I don't know what to make of it. That's like the fishing challenge, although I think I already did this one, so we didn't get something super rare from that. The last couple times have been pretty noteworthy. Yeah, the main thing I would like is a two-handed axe, even more so than a pet. But we could get both. That would be the ultimate bait if I don't even still get it. I want something a little bit unique, but you do get the extra stable slot, so maybe one of those wargs at the beginning. I kind of want it to happen more organically, though. Like, I don't know. I don't want to plan it, but that's the only thing I can think of. This should be the mills. I'm not sure. Okay, you follow the path up. There's nothing else in this side of the map. I didn't go back to Death Knell to try to, you know, do all those quests too. I think that would be too much, but just the fact that we landed in Brill makes me feel like a completionist, that like, oh, I have to do everything here because, you know, if we come upon something, I just feel compelled to do it. I'll try not to pick up quests that have to do with dungeons or elites because I don't want to abandon any quests, and I haven't done so far, but without thinking, I'll just do it, and then I'll obviously not be able to do it, or I'll have to put myself at major risk to do it. Well, that kind of scared me a little bit. These are only level 6. I feel like this area was pretty higher than that. Yeah, you could think this is kind of a cheese way to do it, but it's not even giving me experience, so I don't see what the point in doing it is. Why did I feel like this was a much higher level area? Or maybe it'll become that as you go through it. Like, there'll be level 10s and stuff. So just make sure I don't loot anything I don't want to loot. These have to give you rib cages and something else. I forgot. It'll be from these two, and then I'll have to go back and come back again because I won't have room. Right? There's nothing I can get rid of besides this. So I'm kind of screwed. The only thing I really can get rid of is maybe the linen, because at least that doesn't serve much of a purpose, unless eventually we're going to need it for like engineering for some of these things. I don't really want more of the bombs. I just have one stack just for the fuck of it, which I barely even used. Yeah, these are supposed to give you the notched ribs and stuff. Like as a kid, a lot of people would find some of these areas scary, like the undead areas or even Duskwood. The Alliance sort of gets spoiled with the number of zones that they have just like at their fingertips. Compare the human experience to like the Tauren experience. The Tauren start, they go to Mulgore, and then they're immediately thrown into the Barrens at a level zone that's too high for them, like by Camp Tarajo. That's just unfair, especially in a hardcore sense like that. Could almost get you killed. Whereas humans, you have, oh, Westfall and Red Ridge and Duskwood, and, you know, they're not all exactly perfectly at the same level, but those are fine. We need the blackened skull. Or no, we need the notched ribs, I mean, from these. This question, oh, fuck off. I'm not going to even be able to do this. Unironically, I can't do it because there's nothing. But, you know, we could hold this. We could hold it just to make room for that one thing because I can't destroy anything. I guess there's no rule against doing that. Just to conserve space, and then I can always take it off later. So we're already dual wielding. Just don't loot anything. Oh, okay. Or imagine if that linen would have put me over the top too. I can't craft and I can't destroy stuff unless I find a fire out in the world. Lord Bethor Ishard, as per your instructions, I send you to the agent you requested. Okay, I read that last time. Where is the thing I just got? What? Level 4 begins the quest. Letter to Yvette. The letter written by Thurman, the eldest son of Gregor Agamand. It is addressed to Yvette Farthing, though it does not appear to have reached her. Find Yvette Farthing and deliver it, so it doesn't tell you at all where she... Oh my god. At all where she would be. This is already a disaster, so I just guess I have to go back. I have to get rid of the linen, sell all the rest of the stuff. At some point, I'm going to have too much stuff to even be able to turn in, like, or to do anything with. I'll just want to keep it. And then we're not going to go to the bank for a while either. So this has been one of the more annoying aspects of the whole playthrough so far, is just the space conservation. But I feel like I always would mock that idea too. You would always get like 4 or 6 slot bags very easily from killing, you know, all the Defias and low level stuff in the starting areas. All the humanoids. I guess maybe Durotar just had less humanoid enemies. The Quillboars, they dropped maybe one of them, or the humans at Turgard Keep, and the Centaur. Those all count as humanoids, so they maybe all have a chance to drop bags. That's typically what happens. And yeah, I should change the tracking to humanoid tracking too, I guess. Make a couple changes, kind of just get ourselves ready for the rest of this. I feel like a lot of people would do the hardcore thing just to rush through it and do it, like the gimmick that it is for a lot of people. But I'm in no hurry. In fact, almost the whole point of it is to not do it like that. Just like how I do stuff normally anyway, but... The only downside is, like, you know, when you're not doing it every day, or when you do it once a week like this and you don't do it for too long. But that I always consider to be a net positive, like just... I would obviously, you know... The way to make up for that isn't to, like, not play it the same way that I would. It's just to do it more, or, like, you know, put more time into it. So I would do it every day and just make it my one and only series that I would do if I was that committed to it. Yeah, it's a heck of a secondary series, though. Like, something that's going to take a super long time. Like, replacing, like, a card game. Is that really justified equivalency? Like, you're replacing a card game with an MMO with a hardcore permadeath aspect, although even card games for me often have that capability too, of like, oh, if I don't win this tournament in online TCG, I have to delete my account, or whatever. Yeah, what a big penalty that is, because that went offline anyway not too long after that.
Trust no one.
There is a shop in here, but it's almost pointless. Let's just go back. So Gordo doesn't even get to turn in the quest to him. You just have to do it. You never got a quest for this one. Hopefully I won't get a quest for a lot of these, because... But like, if you try to talk to one of these, they'll tell you, oh, just kill these. Right? It won't show up as a proper thing.
What is it?
Because it's lower level.
What is it?
Right? I can still do this. They get another clone line. They both say, what is it? What is it? Yeah, there's nothing I can do with any of that. You can do Yvette's thing. I have no idea who this Yvette is. This is one of those contextual things. You should just find, isn't that like the name of an area? Like Farthing something? Yeah, it doesn't give you any clues either. That's kind of rare. Does not appear to have reached her. The way that you can tell is not by your excellent observation skills, where you pay attention to everything in the world around you and all the NPCs and their names and stuff, as a master ace detective like me that I am. But the reason why you'd be able to do that is because of, you know, it'll be this magical yellow dot on the thing, on the map. But yeah, like, what were some of those ace detective moments that I was going to show for I was going to make like a compilation, like Ace Attorney 6 doing the last case in permadeath, hanging on to that one Magatama for dear life. That was actually a badass moment. Or like, obviously Danganronpa, that one deduction that everybody liked. Where's that useless abomination? Either you have what I need, or you'd best get out of there and find it. What's this Gloomweed? I've no need for Gloomweed. Mindless Massive Flesh is out there picking daisies and convincing the lady. Convincing the lady knows how many dupes like you into doing the same. No offense. Very well, you're here now, and that's all that matters. Then I'm not going to bother to try to explain things to that abomination about how you collect what I really need, Doomweed. As you can see, the predicament I'm in. How about a Doom Shroom, am I right? Predicament I'm in, the last thing out there collecting the wrong weeds. I'll make it worth your while to gather what I need. Bring me back enough doomweed, and I'll give you a suitable reward. It's my understanding that they like to play near the flora in the mass grave site to the north of the Bro graveyard. Hurry and be mindful of the gnolls in the area. So hopefully we find this Yvette chick, or she could be an Undercity, or I have no idea. But yeah, let's make the or you could also make that a condition, like you can't change what you have equipped out in the field, but I don't think that's fair. You can just strip down and do what you got to do. So we'll do the linen here. There's nothing else to even sell, so I'll just sell that itself. This I would want to cook, and then we could sell it. Do it by like the fireplace here. Yeah, like 1 level per episode average, or is this her right there?
Hello.
Oh, my poor Thurman. I begged him to leave Agamemnon Mills with me and my father, but his loyalty was too strong, and I knew it. I knew that Brand meant him harm. Oh, curse this plague and the scourge. Yvette's face smooths and then grows cold, but regrets her. How often does he do stuff like that? I feel like it's very rare in the quest text. But regrets her for the week. Just show me with an emote. Although some of these like don't work. Like if you do scared, right? Some races will like put their hands out and act like they're actually scared, but she doesn't even do anything. I just have a poker face, I guess. Inside, I'm scared. Regrets her for the week. As a Forsaken, I have new goals, and love is not one of them. I would like, yeah, how do you procreate? You can't eat, you can't sleep, you can't have sex, or you can't have kids. Like, so many things wrong with this situation. I would thank you for delivering this letter, for I've wondered what happened to my past love, but that life is over forever. Now you'll give me another follow-up quest. It's going to be annoying. It's like the ultimate, like who says that? Oh, like in FMA, like greed. You have this metal body, you're a suit of armor, you don't have to eat, you don't have to sleep. It's so wonderful for you. So it's like an opposite interpretation moment where, is that something you would want? Like, oh, you would live forever and you don't have to worry about all these mundane things like using the bathroom or everyday mundane things. Some people would love it and some people would hate it because you would feel like, oh, now I can't taste anything. But the trade-off is I don't have to eat anything.
Trust no one.
You like sacrifice sensation for efficiency, but then you'll realize how aimless and pointless your life is anyway. Like you just don't have anything to do anyway. What, just you don't have to eat, so instead you can play WoW more or some fucking play chess more all day without having to take a break. So this, if it had like a food buff, I'd be more inclined to keep it. But I should sell all the bandages. In fact, I almost want to sell the ones that I have, but I feel like 1 stack is at least okay. We'll sell, or we'll do all of this. Like, we'll just sell it. So this will be 20, and then we'll have how many spaces left? 1, 2... The main thing is the remains you have to pick up individually, I think, which is really annoying to do. Just, whatever, Devlin and this and that. One of them's going to be elite, and I'm going to have no idea, but... It's actually kind of annoying to find them, I think. They're just kind of, you know, random named NPCs, and of course, tracking would be ideal for a hunter, but of course, they're not humanoid, so it's kind of a fruitless pursuit. Not that you don't get that eventually, but... Oh, that's going to annoy me too, but you're going to pick up more, so... You sell those 2, you have this, you have this. Some of the stuff I'm keeping for kind of dumb reasons, but I guess it's okay. Like, just because I fished this up, it has some sentimental value because it feels like a rare thing. Or at least I think it was that. So that plus this. And I wouldn't have parted with it anyway if I hadn't gotten an upgrade. Okay, so we have to go back to the mills, pick up some of this shit. And then we have a Scarlet mission and stuff on the east side. I don't know what else we have. I don't know exactly where those spiders actually are. Or you only have 1 remains. Why did it feel like 3 of them? Oh, maybe I just imagined that. Why did I feel like there were like 3 listed there? You got to do this for the integrity of it if you go AFK. Like, oh, I don't want to seem like, oh, I'm doing something. But then again, the add-on keeps track of it anyway, so it's not like... I really don't remember whether I was about to learn Rapture Strike or not. Is it at 14 or 16? It's possible it was 14 and I just didn't have money for it. But at least that'll... Or not Rapture Strike, Mongoose Bite. I can just picture it now. We'll step into Silverpine Forest and see one of those wargs, and then it'll be love at first bite. They'll take a chomp out of me. I almost died to the raptor, actually, when I was taming it. After we go through all that. But it is my fault I end up starving it. Gotta do the mills, and this is an annoying spot just space-wise, but I swear to God, I just read that quest and it said like, oh, you have like 3 things to do. So this is by the Knolls. Let me not even worry about that one. Let's do the mills, because I'm getting kind of annoyed at having to go back and forth there. So notch ribs, we already have one of those. So we have 1 space to fill. Then we have Devlin's remains only, so that's not too bad. Oh yeah, that's the one. I must have just missed over it. Gregor's remains, Nissa's remains, Thurman's remains, and Devlin. So that's 4 and then 1 for the rib. So I can't pick up anything. So if I get a green or something, I'm fucked. And of course, some of these greens I could just sell, but I feel bad for doing it now. Like, oh yay, we have a 2-handed sword, just like it's the best we're gonna have. Even though it's level 5, like it's still fortunate to get a green drop. I've actually gotten a surprising number of greens. I wasn't expecting so many, but a lot of them I can't use, or a lot of them I wouldn't want to use, I guess. I mean, even what I am using is green, technically. I didn't know that you would get baited like that. Like, instead of Gloomweed, it's Doomweed. And it's in a totally different area. I didn't remember there being another kind of thing like that. Shows you how poorly I remember stuff, or just how not well I know the Horde areas in general. Oh, I forgot to I forgot to take my tracking, but that was just more like an RP thing. Like, oh, we feel so out of our element in this area, so we're gonna switch to humanoid tracking and trying to find the Devlin and people like that. But the fact of the matter is, you won't be able to do that because, you know, they're undead. But it would be just like our vain attempt to still try to do it. Try to rely on our innate senses, or to make up for our lack of creativity and resourcefulness. That was us many years ago, although we weren't undead. But yeah, there's still this cross-server stuff. Imagine the servers being so dead and then still doing that. Why not just have like 1 server period? Or like, doesn't that defeat the whole purpose of like PvE, PvP stuff? If it's shared between servers, how does that work? Or I guess they'll do it between the same type. I never understood really why they do that, but the reason why is because they're too cheap to try to keep too many servers up or something like that, sharding and all these kind of things. They didn't have to do it originally when they were a smaller company, small indie company, but they do it now. So that's just pure greed. Nobody could convince me, oh, they can't afford it. And they fought against the very idea of doing it too. Like, even just having Classic at all. So they took down BC right away, and then they'll, you know, like, how hard would it be? You have 1 server up for each expansion ever, and that's all you need. Like, what's the big deal? Nice ascend to the mills. Yeah, the aesthetic of the undead area is actually amazing. Although maybe not so much the western and eastern plaguelands. Like, that's maybe more par for the course of what you'd expect. But these two are pretty cool because it's a nice balance between the good undead and the bad undead. I can certainly not blame you for lumping them in together in universe. It's the same way that like warlocks are looked at so badly. Like, oh, I fucked up already. I have to make sure I don't loot too much like a fiend. That is one concession we have to make here. We have the 2 quest items here, and then we have all the stupid remains. I don't want to remain here forever, so let's try to do this. It just feels weird, right? Like, I'm not against doing stuff like this, but I'm not doing it to farm. I'm not doing it for experience. I'm not really doing it for rep, although in a certain manner of speaking, I guess I am. It's just, I'm just doing it for the sake of doing it. I guess he wasn't that hard to find after all, but the other ones are going to be pretty hard. The Agaman Mills is held by the Scourge Hunter. Join us. Yeah, badass boss quote number 1. I was always such a big fan of those. I had this add-on that was like, you would click it and it would play the voice sound for you. I forget if it played it for other people around you, but it would just have you type out the text line. That was kind of anticlimactic a little bit, but I guess he's only level 9. Is that like the first person who's actually had something to say to me? I guess some of the Scarlet people do, but you know, it's like the Scarlet Crusade is good. They're trying to help us out to get rid of the undead, which is at least a pretense of what they're trying to do. And truthfully, demons, like speaking of Dreadlords and stuff, demons don't like the undead either because they kind of rebelled against them. Right, like the Lich King and Kil'jaeden are not on good terms. So there is something to that. Let's ignore them for now because we'll have plenty of chance to get these later, or I'll find my way through. So these aren't even giving me experience. So you can say, oh, power leveling, this and that. But how, or over leveled, how does it help me though to do this? It just doesn't. In fact, it arguably puts me at risk, but not much risk. I keep doing that. Okay, we'll save these maybe for the way out. So we have to find a few more of these. Nissa, basically any named NPC. Put the whole family to rest. Where some of these are going to be maybe too close together. Imagine how annoying this is to do when there's plenty of other people around. You know, that's the real issue with it. Because they'll kill one of them, then you won't know exactly where they are. Then some of them are padding around. Apparently somebody is here because that one's dead. Okay, dude, come on. You can aggro, I don't care, dude. The level 7s, but you still have to be afraid because sometimes they can just be that crazy. They'll have some weird abilities and stuff. Very strange way to do this, but it's certainly not me trying to like over level here or do anything like that that would benefit me. And maybe they'll just each be in each of the structures, or there's like some crypt over there where you can go down below into. Now she might pat back down here, so I have to be weary of that. Like, she is level 10. She might have some crazy abilities, so let's just wait for her. Or these kind of spots can be the worst because you'll kind of, you know, you'll be in a weird spot where you get caught out between three things. The elevation kind of hurts. Like, there's that thing on the dead mines in the boat. Like, oh, you aggro one thing and then aggro's the whole ship because a parrot aggro's or something happens. She's gonna come back down, or she was just there for a second. Yeah. And they did actually aggro both together, so I'm not actually going to fight it out with a mighty level 10 that might have some unknown abilities that I can't account for. Uh-oh. We were ready to do it. Oh, shit. Should be resisting most of these though. Because you are at such a high level, so this is where that really comes into play. Or this guy's going to kill steal the chick now. That is where you can get in trouble, though, because of the slowdown. Make sure we don't get a second stack of silver. I'm just paranoid about the space that we have. You know, it's so limited. Or they were about to go oom anyway, but look at how much they were doing, and I was slowed down and stuff. Oh, my God. I'll just take you on, dude. You're so annoying. You want to fight me with those two, then you don't want to fight me, then you come at the worst possible time. Don't help me, you fucker. You're so stupid, man. Yeah, I totally wouldn't have been able to do it. I get to save a potion, but man. You know what? I'm not even going to loot it. I'm not even going to loot it. I'll have to fight her again. Fuck it. That's so stupid, man. See, whether people try to grief you or whether they help you, it comes to the same thing. So I'm not even going to do it. I'll have to do it again. Wait for the respawn while we look for the other ones, which... one could be in here, maybe. I guess that's an honorable way to do it, despite that, you know, padding it out. Because what would have happened there is I would have had to use a potion. So I didn't use the potion, but I also didn't get credit for it. So I'll pretend like that just didn't happen. I obviously wouldn't have died because I could have easily used that. Although that was still an annoying spot, like for her to go in and back out of the house so quickly like that, just kind of trolling me. Devlin just made himself an easy target at the beginning, like he's just there at the entrance chilling around. These Lich are really chilling here. Or that's like the ultimate fanfic thing from Hearthstone. Jaina becomes a Frost Lich in Undeath. Arthas has a lot of fun doing that. Although she still gives him the cold shoulder even then. Level 8, you still got to treat them a little bit of respect. Or this will be a quest too to pick up these boxes, I guess, for something else. So they'll keep sending me to the mills. Whoever that clown is kind of ruined the whole playthrough. So there you go. People totally say that too. Oh, ha ha, you would have died. It discredits the whole run if it wasn't for that guy. Or at least that's what I would say too. Like, just when you're fighting something, it's more likely for something else to aggro just because of that, not because of the innate situation that you're in. Yeah, who goes first? A melee hunter or a fucking mage? Hard to say when you're spamming wing clip like a clown. It's so good against stopping those enemies from running away, though, the cowardly humanoids. Oh, shit. I think I might have aggroed the one inside of here, too. Or maybe I didn't. You can use this, let yourself get a little bit low. I wonder if he's going to help me again. But like, you have to have your hardcore tag on, and then people will respect it. You have to join the Discord or do something weird. That's up to 8. Everything's good. Let's actually just use one for the fuck of it. There'll be times where I'll be able to do that in combat. We can feign death into it. We can use a trap. So we have reusing icons already for the same quest. We'll check out the chest. There's going to be like some kind of crazy green or something that I want to keep in there. I didn't even notice the other guy there, but I guess we can deal with it. Or again, the potion is a great fallback. I probably shouldn't spam the... Now, if they double up their dots on me, that could be trouble. I'm gonna fucking roleplay as a priest. Like, what are you, dude? You're supposed to be like a death knight. Sometimes they were confused about their own universe and abilities. Like, I forget. There was a good example. Like, oh shit, of course. We could save ourselves with that too. The old Grotus technique. Like, you fight Grotus and Bowser back to back in Thousand Year Door. So you make sure you level up when you beat Grotus. So then you're at full health going into the next fight. The Silver Leaf, Earth Root, Healing Potion. Like, I don't want any of that because I don't have room. Like, I unironically don't have room. It seems like a shame. Like, what if I need it for engineering? Or what if I need it for something? I just don't have space. I have to take something from there at least. Oh, we can always do the little fish strategy. So let's take the potion. And then we hold this in our hand. And of course, I should just put it in my bank, but I gotta go on the way out of Durotar, so I wouldn't have been able to do that. Back again, and this clown isn't gonna help me this time. Whatever. Oh, wow. Difficulty of the situation of pulling her is not that big of a deal because you'll go inside as she was padding around like a clown. I don't really get exactly how she behaves. You should always wait for your racial before you go into these encounters, but now watch, she'll come back out again. Fuck. Blowdown is really what can get you in trouble, but it lasts like so fucking short. What kind of a shitty rank 1 Frostbolt equivalent is that? Hey, look how unimposing they look compared to me. I'm a fucking giant. This makes it look like a joke. Hunting rifle, we have our little PTSD response to that. The one thing we could just destroy with our bare hands without needing a fire or something. Where is the Bonecaster? I don't even see him. As long as nothing else aggroes with her. Yeah, I'm always tempted to do that at the beginning because I don't want it to get to the point where I you know, am low, so therefore I benefit from it. Like, I'm not going to get low at any point, so what does it matter? What does it say exactly? At full health, the speed is 10%, with a greater effect up to 30 if you are badly hurt. Increases your spirit. I guess you could just do it and just use it. But like, what's the downside? What am I saving it for? I'm not going to pick it up anyway. Yeah, let's just get all the remains, because I don't want to have to keep coming back here. There's nobody in there. There's going to be a couple more structures, or some of them are going to just be randomly on the outside. We can tangle with the Murlocs again back here if you really want. Let's just explore. I know there's a crypt here somewhere. Or where does this even lead? Does it lead to like a dead end? This is such a great way for them to show you in all this glory, like what the kingdom would have looked like, but this is part of the cause of the plague too, right? All the plague grain came here. It's kind of interesting to transplant that like into Warcraft 3. You come to an area like this and there's a bunch of grain that you have to destroy that Kel'Thuzad is tampering with, or some of the necromancers are tampering with. One of these is going to randomly be a named NPC. I feel like some more of them are still out in the open. Just, or maybe not. They'll stand out. So Gregor and then Thurman, who could be in the crypt, I guess. At least they made them look unique like that. So please don't help me, any clown. Even this is totally justifiable because we just got it. I always have that penchant of like trying to save stuff. Like, oh, I have a million pieces of food in my inventory or potions and stuff, and I'll be about to die and I'll still hesitate to use it. You better not fucking do that shit, dude. It didn't look like he helped at least, right? But then again, my health's full, so even if he did help, it wouldn't matter because, you know, it's not like there's any doubt there. I don't know where this last guy would be. I do feel like there's a crypt that I'd want to check out regardless of anything else. Although that's exactly the perfect enclosed place to make your own crypt, if you will. Just fucking put yourself at risk. Make sure you don't over pick up the linen. I guess I'm trying to do too much with this. Like, you know, I'm trying to do all the areas. Now I want to do Mulgore too. I just want to flesh out the Horde side very thoroughly. Literally flesh out because they're undead. Nobody here. Yeah, we'll follow the path up through the middle because other than that, I think we've seen all there is to see. A lot of these structures you can't go inside, or we ask and we receive. But I wonder how far he really pats. Or that guy acts like, oh, we're kill stealing it. So we'll try to take him out before we worry about the caster here. Although the slowdown does concern me a little bit. But it runs out so fucking quick. That's not even related to our level, is it? What a great Frostbolt. It slows you down for like 0.1 milliseconds. Because it did get applied to us. Looting during combat. Yeah, what is shit ability, dude? The only reason why it seemed so bad by the house was because we had all of them, like 2 of them hitting us at once. Oh, if we do use a two-handed axe too, we'll be in trouble because of the simple fact that you're able to... I still want to check out the crypt, or they'll send me back here. That's one penchant about maybe vanilla quest or old school RPG design. Like, they'll do that so conspicuously. Like, go to the farm, kill 10 Defias, then come back. Then go back to the farm and kill that other Defias that you didn't kill, or, you know, like some named NPC at the same location. Instead of making you do it all at once, they tend to do that. And then go 5 more steps further and kill something else. We still need another one of these cracked skull soldiers. I don't know what else is in these little crevices. Like, what is... There's a lot of empty space in Tirisfal Glades. It makes it seem like there's something there, but... A lot of clone textures. That could be a bit of the meme that you... Yeah, see, we're already dual wielding. We're cheating. Okay, so this one we obviously haven't gotten because we haven't been here. The game has so much content. Like, if you're to go through it as a single person, it's... Wait, what? How am I felt? Oh, I did get them all. I was just checking this for the fuck of it, I guess. Or I won't even have room for this, will I? You almost shouldn't be able to do it just to skill up. Or I guess I got something from it. Or I could just drink the fucking potion. We're having to hold a fish in our hand. Look at this clown looting meta that we've created for ourselves. The one thing I'm better at than permadeath and hard modes is coming up with formats in the first place. And just the will behind it, right? Like the man in the arena. Even if you fail something, of course, not that it would be this, but you know what I mean? Like, you're willing to try something that nobody else was willing to try. So let's find that little crypt just for the fuck of it. Overpowered fish build. We're going to have a lot of cosmetic stuff here too, like the mechanical squirrel plans I just picked up from a random NPC in like a random enemy that I killed in Durotar. It like wasn't a plan to do it. It doesn't feel right to leave the stuff behind, but like you almost shouldn't be allowed to do this. So these two are far enough away, right? Where when I say like you can't use the same one twice, that's what it means. And it's almost like you don't allow yourself to get the skill unless you pick something up from it. So actually I'll have to drink the potion if I want to do that because, right, like I'm not allowed to keep that skill. So we're going to take some damage. We're going to drink the potion. And then we have to pick it up. What the fuck? What a clown. You had one job. Oh, fuck you. He had one job to do some amount of damage to me. Now there's nothing I can do. We're going to actually leave a Malachite behind as a aspiring engineer. That seems like a big mistake. do have like a stack of it in my bank, but I maybe didn't utilize the bank as well as I could, but not really, because most of it, but yeah, like why do I have this? Shouldn't that have gone in the bank? So I can't do that though, because I have to commit to getting this. Copper obviously doesn't stack up to 20. The rough stone does. There's nothing else I can get rid of. Some of this stuff is there for RP purposes too. Or we'll end up dual wielding with like the mining pick to fucking, I guess they're both main hand, just to conserve space. Like, but we're doing that with the fish already, where we can make a campfire. So that almost should allow you to rest anywhere out in the world, but not really. You should still have to do it in a house or something where there's no question about potentially getting attacked there. See how well I know these areas? We have Wailing Ancestor. This seems like a rare spawn, even though it's not, because it's just a unique enemy type. There's only one of these tricks in the whole spot. Let's see what this crypt is all about. And not only is the game supposed to be dead, but also this particular server seemed especially dead, because you know, when I was, oh, there's a lot of them around here. When I was first about to do this, I just want to see what's in here, but this guy's going to ruin it. Agaman family crypt. It's not like they were buried here, though, because they fight the other one, you fucking clown. Or yeah, like some people are doing dungeons in hardcore classic. Now, I'm not saying that, oh, you're not allowed to do such and such, and you are putting your life at risk, but that is not the sort of thing that is conventional, right, with the history of it. That doesn't really fit too well. Like a little mini single player dungeon. There's going to be an elite at the bottom. Does seem a little bit dangerous to me. Because if all three of them aggro, what am I supposed to do? Oh, and they do. Let's just try to do it in such a way that we use a potion and try to get out of here. Uh-oh. Oh, they're level 11 and stuff, too. Okay, we can use the potion. It's no big deal. I'm going to be stingy about using it, though. They're just higher level than what I was expecting. That's where Wingclip can be so god tier. And of course, again, being in a lower level zone, that also makes it very reasonable to... that's pretty unfair, actually. The fact that they're tied to aggro all three together, but I guess your first instinct should be to do exactly what I just did, which is you kill one and then you go out, like what we're doing in Albion Online, just like there's a pack of 3 enemies that you couldn't possibly kill by yourself. So just... they're fighting the other way down. We should have to earn our way here. It's the same idea, but we might have to wait the 2 minutes, and of course this guy's like racing me to the bottom. Yeah, I kind of was oblivious to what was happening here. You gotta wait for the racial. You're kind of tearing this shit up. I mean, the whole operative thing here is just wait. Just wait for the racial. Because you'll kill one and then you'll get away and you'll have Wingclip to do it. I mean, if I could kill one of those while tanking both of these two without using a potion, then of course I could do this. But you saw how reluctant I was to use it. Like, it's not that big of a deal. I don't want to waste them, though, for all intents and purposes, but... it seems like a big deal to wait this long between fights, but sometimes it's just the right way to do it. It goes from like a luxury, a novelty, to a necessity. You fight something your own level and you have to use your racial every single time, or at the very least, you know, this is a little bit unique. Like, it's not at my level, but it is. Oh, I forgot to even do this. But like, maybe that I should only be allowed to do in towns too. Although I don't think I ever said that. In fact, I think I've already broken that as a rule, but just for the sake of it, I guess I'll do it anyway. So I definitely want to get the crit chance, because that'll be 10%. And that Mongoose Bite is kind of staring me right in the face, too. This will actually be pretty significant. So they'll have a 20% chance base to 1 in 4, 25%. 1 in 4 will do that. Now, why did my crit chance go down that much? I guess just by leveling up. It expects your gear to get better as you go on, but it won't get better. because of the simple fact that you're able to you know, get better gear and agility type stuff. I was just still too impatient with it. I'll pop the potion and just kill this guy, or I could still run away. If they daze you there or do some kind of other debuff, though, that's what could really get you in trouble. See, it's not that big of a deal to do it like this. It's just, oh shit. There's yet another mining node, but now we have nothing to fear with being able to loot them because, or like now, if he really wants to clown me and chase me till the end of the map, I could totally fight you here too. Like we would use wing clip bandage combo, Swifty level tactics. Trying to avoid these is maybe a little bit dangerous. So see, I want to have this like single player mini dungeon experience, but this fucking clown is gonna, you know, help out. Look how much rested we had, not because we ever log out in a rested area, but you get like 5 bars of it anyway over the course of a week between these episodes anyway. And so what ends up happening is the simple fact that you get a lot of it there. In the last couple episodes I haven't really been leveling because one of them was just an Orgrimmar Fiesta. And then even Tirisfal is a bit of a clown fiesta too, because you're not really leveling from doing this very effectively, but we should at least get to maybe that point. Hopefully they don't give me like another million chain quests, or if it's something that says like, oh, go do the Scarlet Monastery now, even though I don't see why they would give you that here. That'll be like the end of the Scarlet Crusade chain quest. But even if that, oh really, dude? So I took so long that now they're gonna respawn, and this is dangerous too because they'll respawn right on your head. I'll be here for like fucking hours just exploring a place that I don't even have to do. So that's the downside of doing it like in the racial way, like relying on the racial for every single thing. That's something will respawn like I won't be expecting. Good thing I saved my potions for that very moment. And yeah, mana shouldn't be an issue now because we're a spirit hunter. And spirit's especially good because we regenerate a lot of health during combat, 10% of our base spirit. What's interesting about this is even if there's a chest or something, we're not going to be able to use it because, oh my god, we're not going to be able to use it because of the fact that I don't have any room. And so that's lovely. We have plenty of linen, so it's no concern about the bandages here. These two really gonna aggro together? They're almost tied to do that, right? Like they're meant to do it. I just want to see what's at the bottom here. Okay. So now we're gonna have to fight through that thing of 3 people again because of how absurdly long I took. But it's all according to the racial. That's one thing that can definitely just get you killed is the respawns. When you don't expect them, you're not going to know exactly how many things are supposed to be there or how many or exactly when or whatever, especially if other people kill them. A little bit of trouble here, but it's not too bad. I don't know how you actually did so much. I didn't go in at full health, but it wasn't that bad either. Imagine blocking wing clip. I mean, I guess this is sort of like farming low-level stuff. So we need the spiders and we need the Scarlet Crusade, and then we're done. Notch Rib will get here, and then the Knoll thing. I don't know, I guess this place just kind of bothered me because it's so big and just annoying. I'm making a point to make it more annoying because we just want to explore this. I'm fighting stuff at too low HP. Something will spawn right there. I mean, you have to take your time, but you can't take too long because otherwise they will respawn on you. Like, what did I really do that made it happen like that? The fact that I'm not eating between combat, but also the fact that I'm waiting for the racial every single encounter. These two shouldn't aggro together necessarily. So you shouldn't need the racial until you get down to the very bottom there, but you could just use it because you don't necessarily have to. I don't know. 3 minutes is a lot, though. So that's kind of how they punish you, I guess, for relying on that so much. Or just forget about even the racial ability, but just like your class cooldowns. You would be using them like every single fight. just to simplify the matters. Wait, what happened to her? Or maybe she passed around, or maybe that clown is still doing this. I mean, there might only be like one player here, but it's enough to ruin the experience. Even if those haven't respawned, they will by now. Or they'll do it like in the middle of combat, which will really shake you, but then again, that's still better than just starting with it like that anyway. They really use this model a lot, although the colors and the tinting are a little bit different. We would want to do this in such a way that this is meant as still sort of like group content. You're supposed to do like a little 2-3 man, you know, thing. But being the level that we are, it shouldn't. I love that, just a random crash, and it was actually at a high stakes moment too. And sometimes I won't even notice that, so then I'll lose stuff to the VOD for good. And so now guess what's gonna happen? We wasted the potion to try to expedite that, and now everything's gonna respawn again. Not even because, okay, so now I won't take it. We've taken kind of enough here. I don't know that I took this exact one, but this crypt is gonna be the end of me just because of this stupid circumstance. Like, how many times are we gonna have to do this? We'll have to wait. We have to wait for the whole thing now. Amazing. You see, if you're trying to go in there all impatient now and brazen, then you'll get respawns behind you in the middle, and it's going to be too much. Right, so you just have to wait. I'm fine with that. Let's just farm for experience. Low level area. I have no room in my inventory for anything. I just want to see what's at the bottom of it. That couldn't possibly get me in trouble. Deal with these for a bit. I'll use my my racial for the thing. I should have killed the whaling chick first, like how we did the first time, but you can just spam all 19 of these, but they take so long to do. But the fact that it's AoE still makes it decent. So I'm just gonna wait. I'm not worried about it. We'll fight this dude. We should be almost done with Tourist Fall, but who knows, dude? Who knows how long this is gonna take? Do literally every quest that they give me, unless it's something that involves an elite or something. Or who knows, there will be an elite down in the bottom of this because I'm kind of going there unprompted. Or they'll totally send me to it for the next quest after this one. How did these ones get me so low? I mean, not that you should be expecting you'll do so well with such a limited range of abilities, but I've been kind of impressed actually at how easy some of this stuff can be. Like, you know, hunters without a bow, without anything else, it's kind of not so bad. Look how quickly they respawn. I feel like that's a boosted rate, isn't it? Well, that just kind of ruined my whole... Okay, here we go. Single player dungeon experience. Never could go wrong. In a second here. Yeah, everything's going to be respawn for sure. So let's get a nice view of the beach. And it's important to do this, I guess, because you don't want to, you know, AFK and potentially die. Or, you know, we should have to actually fish here. But then again, I won't be able to loot it. But like fishing once around the outside technically counts, right? So if I fish at the beach, like with the murlocs, I can't remember if I actually did that or not. Or yeah, try to fish here in that unknown spot that you can't even get to. I guess that's what the add-on's good for. Like, oh, your stream crashes, so people think, oh, you did that on purpose because you were about to die or something. That was actually a high tense moment. Not like I was gonna die, but like fighting those three like a clown just because I want to see what's in here. But yeah, my desire to explore and be a completionist is not tempered by the fact that it's permadeath, because everything I do is usually permadeath anyway. But no, it's like you would think that would still show it. Like, what if you just try to turn off the add-on? Wouldn't that just, I guess that should invalidate the run or something? But how would they know? Like, oh, you'll turn it off, then you'll die, and then you'll turn it back on, so it won't know how to keep track of that. There's not like a global achievement stat that just says whether you died or not. That'd be easy to keep track of like from Wrath and on, because it would show up in your achievements anyway, right? Like feats of strength and whatever. There's a tab that'll tell you all that stuff. Wasn't there like this thing with Athene where he said like, oh, he never died for like a super long time, and then he finally dies in a BG? Because like a fucking paladin pussy, you can just always bubble hearth if you're about to die, but which actually makes this kind of run really a joke. I wonder how I would do that if I want to do a character class of a paladin. I just hope these servers stay up forever, because that's what I wanted to do. There's one that I've been thinking about a lot now. I could do like an arcane mage where you can only use arcane spells and, you know, do a hardcore thing of that. I don't know exactly how, because it goes back to the old trope of me wanting to use I wanted to raid as a fire mage, but I couldn't. I wanted to raid as an arcane mage, but I couldn't because it wasn't efficient enough. I remember distinctly getting my arcane missiles to hit like 500 per tick and saying like, look, that's so good, but it's not mana efficient enough, obviously, for a long fight. But also fire you couldn't use for most of vanilla because you're doing Blackrock Depths and Blackrock Spire and Molten Core and Onyxia and stuff. So like, how the fuck can you use fire? They completely cuck you, so you have to use frost. And then around 8Q you could use it, but it's not like I did that much past there anyway. Do we want to fight through here? Like, this is really annoying. Just the first time because of the cooldown. So because I was waiting for that so degenerately, I don't know. This is just an annoying encounter of the three of them together. Like, look how much even a single one of these is doing to me. I guess those ones don't use the same ability. Look, this guy's almost fucking... How is he this strong? Is that stupid poison ability or whatever he's doing? Well, that was like a jump scare, the way he just came in there so fast. Now, there is one here that's pretty high level, so we could be getting in trouble. It gives you a little more flexibility to get away in situations like this because they are so low level to you. It's actually a really, really bad spot. Like, what am I... Good identifier that it's a bad spot. If you die to fucking fall damage, dude, you should just delete your whole channel. What the fuck, man? Always these bad spots to escape from that I find for myself. It's not like aggroing stuff here is so bad. Now, I'll just wait again. Like, every time you kill time, you're going to have stuff aggroing behind you or respawning behind you. It's not like I need to do this for any reason. Or, I mean that in a broader sense, too. Like, I don't need to be doing Tirisfal Glades. Whatever, dude. Do that for the finisher damage. Oh my god, now the space thing kind of triggers me because these are things I would actually want. I've only used like one engineering bomb, I think, the whole time. Just, Wait, where did that guy even come from? Or he's like padding through. We're totally gonna get respawns behind me and it'll kill me. Or we'll do it like this, we'll kill the chick. And then I won't be able to kill him, or the only way I could kill him is if I use the potion, which I don't want to do. So let's see how many hours this is going to take to kill her. And then we can win clip him, get out of there. You got to kind of appreciate how long this is going to actually take to do. And if you do that, then you'll see that... Wait, I thought that meant he was gone. Gonna be the same thing again. Why am I trying to do it like this? Or you could totally use like the bandage. I don't like walking, you know, towards more of them like this, but like, where even is he? What's he doing? I didn't even see him there. I'll just fucking use the potion, man. This guy's so persistent. You gotta always have an escape route planned out before you do these things. You might think, oh, he's only a level 11, but some of these have like a really annoying ability that keeps doing a lot. I mean, I'd love to do that, but I don't have space and I'm not allowed to destroy stuff or do anything, so I'm kind of spamming the bandages because I just have so much cloth, and aside from selling them, I don't really know what to do. So in the amount of time we've wasted here, a lot of this stuff is going to respawn. Like, we should be safe in a corner here, maybe. There's 3 here, and this makes for a very tough encounter. And I'm really putting myself at risk in a way that I don't need to be doing. I don't know why I'm even fighting this one. Maybe I'll try from the other side. Not that it should really matter at all. The respawns are just too fast for this shit, dude. By the time you do this, you'll be getting hit from behind. Or yeah, like this guy always likes to pat through. We actually didn't aggro him, so we'll wait. And maybe this is the one that keeps confusing me. Like, where does he keep going? Because he kept standing over there. I thought he was just one of the ones that's stationary. Look how he backs up like I staggered him with an ability or something. Backpedaling clown AI. Druid battle axe. That could be my first two-handed axe, which almost is doing as much as what we have. There's so many things I'm not using that I even could be using right now. Maybe these ones will just be higher level, incidentally. Or maybe they'll only be 2 because one of them pats through. Oh, at least here's the logical thing, but it could just be that it's going to respawn in. And it could be that one here also is going to respawn. That's really hard to keep track of, you know? Oh, shit. That's actually a good bait. Like, if she's a ghost or something. I should just get out of there, period. I might have to... Yeah. Getting respawn. Man, this is fucking bullshit. Don't aggro like a chain of stuff on the way out too, which you might be inclined to. Or like for certain enemy types that will be bullshit, like Murlocs and humanoids and stuff, they will actually cause other stuff to aggro of the same kind. Or like you pull it in such a way that now you don't want this one to reset. You get a chance to actually kill it. Guy's level 10 though, so that could be trouble too. Sometimes I rely on the racial maybe a bit too much. It makes it look like we're dual wielding, but yeah, this thing is back. That fall damage there was a bit of a scare. Just clownishly going down. So they're gonna respawn again. Okay, maybe I'll come back when I'm level 20 and do it. All I want to fucking see is what's at the bottom. Even if there's a chance for like a rare enemy, I won't be able to pick anything up off of it. No point killing these. They'll just keep coming back. Hey, that's what's really unfair. They're supposed to be undead anyway, but then they, you know, the respawn mechanic turned on its head. At least with the other ones, it's like they're fucking cockroaches just, you know, refusing to stop breeding. Like, oh, random wild animals that you slaughter because you're the good guy, by the way, in this universe, despite the presence of hunters and the presence of, yeah, what is with this guy padding around? Or maybe it is one of the 3 at the bottom, but it's not because, you know, you kind of just saw what happened with that. I'll basically just get to level 60 here like the old South Park style. That's fine. Because we'll be here forever. I'm just not going to take some inordinate risk, but then again, I'm doing that just by doing this in the first place. So it's not actually a dot what they're doing, but it's doing a decent amount. At least if I had feigned death or something, or at least if I had a pet, like, at least if I had anything, it would be more feasible to do this. It doesn't mean you have to rush through, but it is kind of annoying to do this. You're going to get constant respawns everywhere. This is actually quite an intricate thing, like with the different spawn patterns and the pats and the groups of 3 that aggro together. Like, this place is actually pretty complex if you think about it. Something is going to respawn, so you never want to leave it to chance with how much health you have left. I keep doing that, like, oh, I'm not going to pick up something else if it gives it to me just to save space, but there is no space to save. Use a bandage every fight because I'm too lazy to eat, and use, or even keep food. Use the racial every fight. Or you can always just sit down for the fuck of it. Will that one actually aggro? Now he'll do a jump scare around the corner. Those ones aren't tied to aggro together. So I should do the right side for the simple fact that there's 2 of the wailing spirits, which are easier to kill perceptibly, at least than 2 of these, are easier to tank through. Right, so at least we have a new meta strategy. You can't feel bad for doing that. I didn't even think of trying that side because I assumed they'd be the same, but let's do this. Let's wait for a pad to fucking respawn in when we're at low health. So just don't let yourself get to low health is the point. Or like as we're running back through here, this guy will totally come on me too. You could always just do wing clip early in every encounter because it's only a little bit of mana that you're never going to run out of mana from doing this, right? You'll always regen enough to be able to do that forever. So the only way you can run out is if you spam this. Are you kidding me with some of these, dude? Now my health is low, which means this should do a disproportionately higher amount of damage, right? From the benefit of that. Look how low I'm letting myself get though. Look at it, look at it. Gonna be a respawn into 8, 7. That's what would actually do it, but I at least do have this one potion left in the thing, or I should use the other one, or I already did use the other one to make space. If I go to the right side now, I still have to wait 3 minutes for the ratio because I won't be able to do it otherwise, even if I'm trying to just kill through one of them at a time. The way this chick hides in the corner there is pretty spectacular, which almost makes it seem like you could get her without the other two, but you can't. Let's just keep an eye out here then. We'll wait for the racial. I'll have to use it once to kill the one chick. Then this is the problem with this whole thing. Nothing here is going to be clean. Like level 9. I'll have to wait 3 minutes between each of these encounters or something like that to kill each of these. Even when it's down to 2, it can be tough. Like, let me try to kill this chick. And then they move so slowly, but then again, that's my fault for the wing clip. I could use the potion here to try to finish her off. I'm gonna have to, actually. Fuck it, I'll just do it. And you should still just get out of there is the point. To be faced by respawns, no less. So now if you wait for the racial, because I didn't use it that time, then you could be fine. But guess what we're going to get when we go back in is respawn. So I'm down to 0 potions. So now it becomes very scary and you shouldn't even try to do any of this. Here we go again, dude. They're going to respawn from behind. I'm almost trying to rush it just so I don't keep ending up in the same loop of stuff here, but it's impossible. Right, like the zombie's going to respawn right there too. So once we kill this, we'll have the racial up at least. This at least tells you that respawns are coming. So now I'll still have to run away even when I kill this chick, because the other dude is still going to be too much in the one encounter to do. Right, like you shouldn't fight the clock here. You're going to have respawns 100%. If anything, I should pull them out super far now and then fight them there, and then you'll be very close to just doing whatever. Although that wing clip didn't do much of anything, huh? Just kill this chick, you can wing clip the guy out, and then we should be good. But then we're gonna have respawns from the other way too. You can always try to this wing clip bandage in the middle of combat idea, but you don't have to. So now, guess what's gonna happen? We won't be able to just go back and take care of this guy because you know what's gonna be in the way. I like this whole idea of spamming using a bandage between every single fight, but you don't want to waste it too much like that. But what else is it gonna be for, really? Pat's back. See, now by the time I fight my way back to that one guy who's left, there'll be a problem, which is going to be that everything else will be back too. This guy's gonna get me pretty close too, with all these crazy abilities that they do. I can't believe it. Keep it on there as your security blanket, but there's just that one guy I have to kill, but now it's gonna snowball all the wrong way. Look how tight even this is. Just one level 11 random dude. Jesus, he's gonna crit, get a mitigation chain on me. That was one of the pats, and now we're gonna slowly start to see these guys come in, so it's gonna be a disaster. Just because I'm trying to rush it to get to this guy. At least now they'll spawn on like different timers, right? So even if something respawns here, it'll only be one chick. So maybe I'm feeling too secure in this, but it's fine. No, no, no. Ooh. Fucking Pats, dude. I just took care of a Pat. That would have been really bad because the angle isn't going to work and the spawns are going to come. What did I do all this for? To see what's down that fucking stair. They shouldn't aggro from here. I should probably take care of the Pat. I just want to see what's here, man. Wailing Ancestor, Wailing Ancestor. Captain Dargal. So I wouldn't be able to kill him anyway. He's going to be too strong. So let's just leave. Now we know. Reconnaissance. Completed. We still just try to kill this guy, I guess. Gonna get a respawn on my head. Whatever. That's like our Fizzle Darkstorm equivalent. If I had at least a bomb that stuns them or something a little cooler, or like a pet or anything. Actually, your pet could get you in a lot of trouble here, though, so I'll always keep it on passive. Like, it'll go into shit and try to... It's not... That's going to be stupid to try to kill him. And there'll probably be some quest later that's going to chain and tell me to do that, probably next. Which doesn't mean I have to do it right away, but every quest I pick up I do want to do, which doesn't mean I have to pick up every quest. It just means I have to make sure I try to avoid the dungeon ones because I don't want to abandon any. That is pretty good. So we should basically be done with here, but they're not going to go that easy on me. A lot of the stuff is going to be on the east of town, but let's turn all this stuff in. Let's see if there's somewhere unusual that we have to turn it in, like... This is Zygand and Brill. This is Farthing and Brill. This is Silverpine Forest. Obviously is where we want to be anyway. Farthing and Brill. Okay, so it'll all be pretty normal stuff. Then we have the Knoll one above Brill. Then we have the two on the east side, which I have no idea where the spiders actually are. My hope is that we'll find it on the way to the Scarlet Monastery thing. What is over here? That fall damage kind of scared me. A lot of horror elements. Do you have fear of heights? Do you have fear of zombies? Like when he does that jump scare out of the crypt. XC54 crit. Oh wow, look at that back-to-back crits. We have like a 3% chance to do it. Oh, we did need that notch rib. I'm glad I did that. I almost had it in my head that I didn't have to do anything else here. I thought I was done. Kill that fucking guy down there, whatever his name is now, I forgot already. Just because I wanted to see what was there. It's not like I couldn't do it either even now, but you would have to do the same thing. You'd kill one, go back, kill one. So it just takes too long, especially if you're relying on the racial the whole time. I burned all my potions there for no good reason, but it's worth it to do that because... You know, like, why take a chance? I'm sure we'll find more. Or, like, by the time we do that, like, oh, no, I have no more of these potions, but they're not going to be good anymore. We'll just get another upgraded version. So, like, the minor healing potions are shit. I guess we made space because of that. We may as well do the Knoll one just while we're in town. This is a little bit strange. I wasn't sure what I wanted to do with the other horde starting areas because it's not like, oh, I'm going to do another run as an undead and another run as a tauren like anytime soon just to flesh those out. So I was almost thinking, oh, I just do it all in one, but it's not as fun or interesting if you like I could go to Mulgore and do a lot of the starting stuff, or I could do Death Knell quests. But like, what's the point when you're already level 10 to 15? This is at least okay because I'm sort of trying to earn my passage, quote unquote, to Silverpine Forest / the Undercity by like getting friendly rep, let's say. But Silverpine Forest you can just do anyway. But for the Undercity, I almost want to treat it that way. Unless you're friendly with them, you're not allowed to go in there at all. You should be grateful that they even let you into Brill. Yeah, we'll go back. We'll turn a lot of this stuff in. It's really annoying how they make you have one of each of these pieces. Like, oh, you know, remains. 3 for one quest. Like, what an annoying way to conk up your inventory. Even though it's maybe my fault that I have just so little space. So the bat kind of tempted me, but I guess that's just not what I want. I want some other... you know, unique beast, but we do have the other stable slot, and I can always disband the pet, dismiss it, but that's not really something I want to do either. Just on the basis of, what do I even have to sell? Most of this I can't sell. It's all just quest items. So I genuinely don't have space. All that copper I have in the bank too, so I should almost just make shit with it and sell it. There's no rule against doing that. Like, I'll make a bunch of engineering bombs. Like, you got to understand the levels to which we're restricted here. We don't have a two-handed weapon, even though I could. We don't have a pet, even though I could. I don't have a bow and stuff, even though I could. Although I can't in the context of this playthrough. But the pet I can have, the two-hander I can have, I even learned it. But you know what? Before we even turn all this in, or no, let's just do it first. Yeah, why they all get dread steeds? Those aren't what a normal undead horse looks like, is it? I forget. Those are literally dread steed models or whatever the fucking stuff for a warlock, which was a pretty badass quest. Warlocks and paladins get that.
What is it?
You would think it'd be like paladins and shamans, like, oh, you know, like a spiritual horse that they summon, just because they're the exclusive classes to the factions. Our battles with the Scourge wage on. Do your part and throw the cursed mindless undead back into the Plaguelands. Your efforts in the war are felt among us. I will not thank you for doing what is necessary, but the Death Guards of Tirisfal will remember your name.
Beware.
Or like, imagine if it cucks you and said, oh, your inventory is full because, you know, it doesn't count taking the quest items that you have until you're empty first. So this will be like a lot of stuff to do with the mayor, or... Oh no, I guess we have nothing to turn in for him. Some of these are just going to be chain quests. They go on till the end of time, though. Crypt Walker. I'm something of a Crypt Walker myself because of the clown behavior we just saw. Literally slow pacing it. Yeah, these two are related. I hope you're well. All things considered, sit for a spell, hear my tale. It's a tragedy, of course, but one I hope will end in revenge. You have the remains of the Agamans. Are those cursed beasts finally destroyed? This is like a fucking... JJ LaRoche moment. He's worried about being incriminated by what's in his little Tupperware box, the Mentalist, but then he still keeps it around. Like, he'll keep these as souvenirs till the end of time. Like, why do you really want those? I guess just to prove it, but revenge has a sweet taste, don't you think? When you destroyed the Agamans, did you catch a hint of free will within them? I hope so. I hope they knew fear before they were smashed into oblivion. Yeah, do undeads like you experience fear? It is a foolish hope, I know, but it is a hope nonetheless. Wow, he's really fucking salty. Did you find Devlin? Thank you, Devlin's bones will rest nicely on my mantle. If my cold heart can find warmth, it is in knowing that the Agamans are destroyed. They failed me and my family when the plague came. Now I swear I will smash their remains under my heel. You have given me the remains of the Agamans and satisfied my desire for revenge. But the Agaman mills hold a threat to all the Forsaken, not just me. I have spoken to Severin of your exploits against the Agamans. He wishes to speak with you. So now go back to where you just were and do the other quest. Go down into the crypt, which I won't do right now, as we saw. So at least now there won't be any mystery. That was actually kind of worth it to do, because then I would try to do it. I would go back just to see that. Now I can accept my... I'm no match for him and just wait. So I'll make a whole bunch more bandages. Or is it going to be a waste because we're... No. We already learned the next level. So what other skill do I have to learn that like isn't at a proper thing? Like mining is going to get to a point where... I'm just wasting it. Engineering I haven't done in a while because I, first of all, don't have space for a lot of this shit. So anything above 20 I'll sell, which actually I won't get there. We haven't seen, I don't think, a single wool cloth like the whole game. Or maybe I did, but... So who else do we have? The mayor, but that's only because of the quest I just got. It's an insane level of commitment for just like a bonus little... fork in the road moment, and we're not even at the crossroads. Pullman speaks well of you, telling of your successful forays. Really? How did you speak? Are you fucking telepathic? Telling of your successful forays into the Agaman Mills. Forsaken have need of your talents once again. The Agaman Mills area has become a foothold for the Scourge. The strongest point is the Agaman family crypt, where their local military leader, a skeleton named Captain Dargal, has headquartered. With necromancy he has raised... It's almost like we're telling them of the threat. You don't need to tell me about Dargal. We just fucking scoped him out and did reconnaissance on him. With necromancy, he has raised the ancestors... Oh, so he can use necromancy like a warlock. He can use whatever Death Knight, you know... persona he's got going on with his visuals is what he looks like, and then he can also use fucking Shadow Word Pain. He's like a hybrid of every class in the goddamn game, like the way those fucking enemy types work. Of the Agamans and plans to use them against us. We already took care of them, though. This cannot pass, and you must stop it. Travel to the family crypt and defeat the raised Agamemnon ancestors. Oh, maybe that's just more of them who aren't even worthy of being named. Like all the people we just killed. Bring me the skull of Captain Dargal. Kill 8 wailing ancestors, 8 rotting ancestors. Kill Dargal. Wait, what were those rewards?
Discipline.
Darkwood staff. That issue looks kind of cool. Or like it's just unique amongst the items you get. Well, yeah, we'll do a staff-only warrior character class. We have plenty of space now. And we're going to do... Okay, we're going to leave that one. Yeah, all we'll do are the ones that we... There should be an option, maybe there is somehow, like to turn off all friendly interactions. You can't be healed by people, you can't be buffed by people, which they could use to troll you. They have 5 enemies on them, and then they buff you or heal you, so then they think you're working with them, so then they attack you, right? It ties you to their aggro thing. And also, like they can't help you kill something. If you tag an enemy, it's like tagged to you only, so they can't help you kill them. I don't think he told us to kill these. I think we're just supposed to find them on the ground or something in this general vicinity. Oh yeah, I see it there. Doom weed, no thanks. I'm more of a Doom shroom fan myself. Fuck. I like how I keep seeing these things in my mouse icon, but let's try to do it without killing a single null. That'll be like an extra stealth challenge. Not that it's very hard to do because I think we need 10 of them, so that's kind of insane. What was that yellow thing there? Oh, it's just gonna be a beast. Or wait, no. Do we have like a random quest to turn into somebody out in the wild here? Oh, maybe it was just that. I keep saying I'm going to change it to humanoid tracking, but then I guess it's pointless because, I mean, it does work on the undead. That's how you can distinguish them, I guess. Right? The Forsaken from the undead. The hunter among all could always tell that. So you can never pretend. Like if one of the Scourge tries to pretend to be a Forsaken, we'll know just as our instincts as a hunter, even if we couldn't tell otherwise, or vice versa. If for whatever reason an undead wants to roleplay as a Scourge, we can still sense the remaining humanity left in you. For as mindless as the Scourge would be, you know, it makes them feel like, oh, this is their military leader and the gnolls are so well organized and stuff. It's like they're just fucking mindless zombies, but they are mindless, I guess, for a purpose, that they follow whatever the Lich King says. Right, so it's like the duality of, oh, a zombie apocalypse is like the least scary thing ever because they're all fucking mindless. You just put them in a pit and they can never get out of it. You just build a fence and they, you know... Let's try not to kill any, but also not even to aggro any, which is not that hard considering that they're... I don't know why I don't use the shift thing. I'm just so used to, you know, having to worry about the space that I'm like that. You did need a lot, but they also give you a lot back to back. This is kind of a unique plant thing. Like, is this what the other ones look like? I had never even paid attention. Like, does any other plant look like this in the normal course of the game? Get one here, and then you get one on the way out. That's one too. Damn, they really were generous with those. I mean, normally they would expect you to have to fight through to get here. Is he going to be tied to it and ruin our stealth challenge? Rogue has got to be one of the best solo classes because not only can you just vanish to get out of trouble, you know, not unlike Feign Death, but you can also just... you know, be in stealth in general, so you can scope out an area before you go in, plan your attack. You can also, you know, and I'm speaking from experience because I did that too. I've done Priest, Warrior, Rogue. You can scope out areas and you can kind of just, you know, skip ahead, just steal a chest. There's so many ways out of situations. You can take on a 3v1, 4v1 because you can blind one, snap one, do all this kind of crazy stuff. And then if everything still doesn't work, just sprint, vanish out of there. Yeah, Rogue's probably one of the easiest classes. Paladin would be super easy if you allow yourself to use all those abilities. Even Warlock and Shaman would be impossible to fail as long as you just have the Ankh or the Soulstone up. That would count like, oh, haha, I didn't actually die. Or I kind of postulated that you should only be able to use it once just to have a sense of class identity. So every Shaman gets one Ankh their whole life. Every Warlock gets one Soulstone their whole life. you could always keep it on you until you eventually have to use it, and then that'll save you once. But I think generally you just shouldn't be able to use it at all. But that could be seen as like one of the perks of the class. They don't get Feign Death the way that I do, or Vanish like rogues do, but they do get that one extra chance. Or like a fucking bubble like a paladin. So I forget even who to turn this into, but let's just do, I mean, I'll keep them going until they stop giving me quests. Junior Apothecary Holland, who I don't even know where he is, or he's in the graveyard. Or what would make it easier to find them is sometimes the tracking, which is, again, you wouldn't be able to do that otherwise, but I totally forgot where we even talked to him. He was in like a weird spot, maybe in the in the graveyard. It doesn't matter. Let's just do the Scarlet Monastery stuff. And oh yeah, let's actually just do that, because we are going to be fighting humans anyway. I'm not trying to like rush this part, but this is unusual how long this is actually taking me to get out of here. Where could those spiders possibly be? I have no idea. This is probably the one that they're trying to tell me to go to. Aster Hadron. Why do I feel like he has some kind of special, unique dialogue? But yeah, like Duskwood is a place that I don't think had to do with the Scourge. It just happened to be because of Medivh's experiments or something else like the Curse of the Riders. What do you want, Hunter? I'm running late and my employer doesn't look kindly, but yet you're fucking slow RP walking through the path, or now you're just frozen in place. This is that Lynette camp or whatever. Huh. I actually totally forgot where we saw that guy. So yeah, hopefully this will illuminate. Why do I feel like they're just at the bottom here? I'll give that a look, and then I'll look for... Oh yeah, what a great time to turn off beast tracking when I'm trying to find these spiders. Sometimes these aggro ranges actually impress me. You're 7 levels below me, but yet you aggro better than some of these things when I'm actually trying to pull them. Yeah, as much as I say, oh, you can't use range, I would totally be allowed to do that, to pull stuff. That's not a hunter ability, so I mean, you'd be able to use that anyway, even if you were using a bow. It's just... Why do I feel like there's somewhere here or like right towards the edge? This is going to be the biggest mystery of all. Just where the fuck do you find these random spiders? I assumed they'd be in a cave, but he said they're very vaguely like, oh, they're on the east of Tirisfal, just anywhere. Probably going to be like on the south side here. Or it could be... up there. I mean, I don't know. It's not going to be at the farmstead. Could be like in between those. I've probably even seen them and I just wasn't paying attention because I wasn't looking for them. Yeah, maybe this wasn't the right title to use, or now I'm going to feel pressured to do it, or it'll kind of come together on its own very organically. And of course, you want to get something close to your level, but then again, you'll end up dying trying to do it. Or actually, it forces me to kind of do that too, because I have to do it Pokemon style, where I get them to low health first before I'm allowed to tame them. So it will have to be lower level. Or yeah, why am I hesitating now? I haven't even been to this part of the map, so I should totally do this. Yeah, we basically gotten enough copper from Tirisfal, so I'm trying to not make it so that we farm through stuff. Doesn't mean you have to pick up every single thing from it for it to count. You just have to pick up at least one thing from it. I don't want to have too many other more stack. Oh, fuck. This is, I say that. I don't want to have too many stacks of it. I'm running out of space. Amazing how much I've been hindered in terms of bags here. Never mind the rules that seem like, oh, arbitrary that I'm putting into place. It's the fact that I normally expect to at least have 4 bags, 6 slot bags, just from drops and stuff. So even the Scarlet Crusade should be more likely to drop it than, you know, I got the only one at Tiergard Keep. Maybe it's not just humanoids who drop it, it's mostly just humans who drop it, or like one of the core races of Azeroth, not like centaurs and not Quilboar. Although I feel like they all have a chance to drop it. If they're not here, I have actually no idea. I mean, I could totally... I don't know. What the fuck? Yeah, where else could I rest if not... I rested in Brill the one day. And I rested in the camp. So if Tirisfal is really going to drag out this much... It's actually insane. I thought I would just, you know, use it as a pass-by place, but it turned into its own whole thing. Yeah, how close are we to that? We're still only halfway there. That's going to take forever. It's not like I'm in any rush, so we'll let that kind of dictate when we can finally go in there. We'll be like level 20 plus. I mean, technically... You know what? I think I've had enough, though. Or like I've gotten... I certainly didn't get that one, though. Okay, so if it's in the east, it's not here. And so it's going to be up. I'm just afraid to go in that whole quadrant because of the whole stupid aspect of the elites and stuff, but got to be careful. That's the sort of thing you can't just get away if you do accidentally aggro one. Be the sort of thing if it's a blind first playthrough permadeath like I do with so many things, that could totally catch you out. Like they wouldn't put random level 40 elites, 30 elites in a zone for level 1 to 10, which you could say is true in other cases too, like RFC or the stockades, but at least you have to go inside the dungeon to see those. These ones are just like roaming outside. We'll at least get a good tip off of them from the humanoid tracking. That's always a good precursor. So you're already there, but this tower is actually going to be something we're expected to do. So they make you brush right up against it. Do we have to kill like an elite guy, or not an elite guy, but like a leader, or what? Captain Vakan. We're about to send him on a nice vacate. I don't know how you would do that. Nice Fuck, I can't do it. At least if the third one doesn't aggro, we can totally do this. But one of these is going to have like a super annoying ability. Not unlike the... Oh, here... Yeah, super annoying ability, by the way. Not unlike the... Oh, well, I guess we walk right into the spider thing. Huh. What a weird place for it to be. Like the Defias Pillager. Like, what was that thing in the Echo Isles where it has like the lightning shield? Take care of the spiders and these in one fell swoop. And of course, there's nothing more to explore there that I even want to think about. So this could be one of those that's really annoying if the drop rate is low on these. We'll send him on a vacation. Wasn't that like a joke in King of Queens, like where he would say stuff with a weird indentation to it? I don't know how to really explain it. Okay, let's not cramp up my inventory too much. In fact, I'd literally be hard locked if I did that. I can only pick up one thing from now on, which is just whatever you need from these guys. So look at this. I got not only to 15, but I also am almost halfway just from doing these lower level quests that most of the stuff is green or it's not even within my level range to do. Like some of these aren't even giving me experience at all. What exactly is it I'm looking for? Spider venom. This is like totally not playing with fire, like with the COVID vaccine. Like, oh, let's do this experiment on bats and it won't cause any trouble that have this virus. So like, let's do an experiment with a plague that this venom would potentially cause. But they are doing it with very clear nefarious intentions. Like they're trying to create a scourge bioweapon. And it actually works pretty well, like at the Wrathgate. There's no cave even here. It's just empty space. What a weird location. It's a random open space with, I mean, these are technically beasts. Face your arachnophobia if you have it. The only arachnophobia you'd have is like, wow, it's a huge fucking spider, like from Australia, with like fur on it and hair. It just doesn't bode too well. Like it's like the Ohio meme, like, oh, there's these crazy spiders that looks like spiders that look like crabs. It must be from some movie, right? Oh no, they're just from Australia, out in the wild, because there's so much of Australia that's not inhabited. And so there's so much of that shit. You just wake up one morning and there'll be one right next to you. Not that you don't get some stuff like that in, you know, like in Texas or something, there'll be tarantulas and shit. So many Australia memes. It was the prison continent. Just like some European prisoners were sent there or something. I forget the exact thing of it, but I like how we just stumbled upon this as we were running away. Ravenous Darkhound. I mean, I almost would have considered those, and they kind of match with the dismiss icon, just like if they actually let you do that. But they're obviously demons. These would be kind of cool, actually, but can't make up my mind. You got to appreciate how big they are, especially compared to my spider web robe. If we get a green, though, we're going to be annoyed because there's nothing I can even get rid of, so I'm just screwed. Right, we're going to miss out on, like, legitimately, there's nothing I can do. Or I could equip this. I keep forgetting to do that. It's a good subconscious way to make you not overdo it. What is this? The random Scarlet Cam that has nothing to do with anything. Or maybe they'll send you here even later. Like, this Scarlet quest is going to go on literally forever because there are so many of the cams. They'll literally be telling me to actually do Scarlet Monastery by the time this is over. I don't know why there's random dark hounds here. I don't think there'd be a quest for those, but kind of disturbing. But we should be okay. But here's the problem. What if I'm not okay? Then what do I do? Like, anywhere you run here is going to get you in trouble. So, you know, it could be tough, even with the wing clip consideration. Going to lose to a level 9. You might think these are good to use a lot, but because of the cast time, which it doesn't even tell you there that it has one, it ends up not doing that much more than I'm doing anyway. It only does like 20, or as we get better stuff, it'll be fine. Yeah, keep that last slot open for a bit. Dots always scare me because even as my rogue, that almost got me killed. Like, oh, I'll vanish from this encounter. It's no big deal. And then I had like one little tick of a dot left. I thought it was about to run out because I had like 1 or 2 seconds left. And then it gets the final tick. And so it cancels my vanish. Very scary moment. As far as I can remember, I have a flawless record. I remember dying as a rogue in Silithus, but I don't know if that was that one or just some other one I was randomly playing. Why I would do it, you know, multiple times like that, I don't even know, but still need one more. Definitely don't aggro 2 together, although sometimes they are doing that on their own. Or yeah, like that game Grounded has like an arachnophobia mode, like, because there's like all these big spiders and stuff, and in there they're really big because you're small. So it's interesting. Like, what about anything else? Oh, I'm not, let's say you don't have arachnophobia, but I have fear of giant insects trying to kill me, like just any kind. I think it's still in some early access or something. It's a cool concept for a game though. Like, either you got shrunk down or something went wrong. Oh fuck. Well, that's for blacksmithing anyway, but just for the sake of selling it. And I accidentally looted that too. We'd have to find like a fireplace in which to burn these items. Otherwise, we're not allowed to, or we can just sell them. So between killing all the Scarlet people, surely they won't drop a bag or something. There's legitimately nothing I can do with this. I'm even... That was such a mistake. See, this is why I'm being so paranoid about not looting stuff. Actually, 9 damage crit with wing clip, back to back. Wow. Venom Web Veil. I feel like those are 2 areas in these zones that I wasn't too familiar with. Like, the little dungeon in Duratar that's like a cave up here with Burning Blade. I always thought of this one, but there's one here that isn't even on the map. And Venom Web Vale next to Scarlet Monastery. It seems so out of place, and I just never was aware of it. Or like I always assume they're in a cave, like how they are in Death Knell. There's a cave to kill them in. Or even in like Duskwood, there's like a mine full of spiders. Okay, there's gotta be, oh my god, slightly low drop rate. I won't deny it. This is annoying because what you're gonna end up happening is you might get a green to drop or all kinds of stuff, and you're just gonna be stuck. It's amazing how much of an issue this has actually been. All because I was too lazy to turn that in, or all because I looted some random dumb stuff. I guess I can make a campfire without any prompting. I can't destroy the stuff, but I can make something with it. Although, yeah, that's one thing you should be allowed to do. Like, oh, you can only make that in town. But what would be the point in making it in town? Because, oh my god, so many engineering potential things too I'm wasting. Yeah, I should make it a no profession run, a no pet run too, nothing. But I just want it to be where I actually have some stuff to use that makes it fun. It's like you're Batman, right? You go in, you pull stuff with a bomb, then you use like a stun grenade, then you do all kinds of other stuff in conjunction. So some of these are really annoying because they keep healing. So while you're fighting something else at the same time too. I even said that right as that was about to happen. Like, some of these might have super annoying abilities, and then she full heals herself like twice in a row. Darnassian Blue. The Horde aren't too discriminating though with like having Alliance alcohol and stuff like Dwarven Stout in their shops and whatnot, right? Or even like that. They wouldn't have any... Wait, what? Of course. Then again, that could potentially make the area easier. I would die, but then this guy's going to clown up and potentially help. Or you should be able to do this now because I don't even have any room in the first place. Or wait, I'm not even meant to kill these or what? Friars slain 5. Is this maybe not the right one? Or maybe I just don't have to kill these. They just hate those priests too, like they just want me to kill those only. Oh yeah, here we go. As long as they're by themselves it's okay, but it might still not be okay. Ross, Guard, Hammerung, Nud, Valesh, Noth here, Burdana Bor. Of course, being an Alliance player and a human player, I should know that exactly by heart. That's a Friar too. As long as they come one by one, yeah, this was not the best thing they're trying to pull, especially because the third guy could have aggroed too. Just don't let fall damage be the cause of your death. Don't be like Asmongold in this Dark Souls 1 permadeath thing. I like how naive or innocent he felt like when he started doing variety stuff. Just like a guy like waking up and seeing the world and smelling the coffee for the first time. Like, wow, there's other games out there besides WoW. Which I had that same moment too. Like in Cataclysm, I quit like right before Cataclysm, and it was the same for me. Like, wow, Symphony of the Night is one of my favorite games ever. But that's when I played it. I didn't play it originally or over the years. There were so many games that I got around to. Bethesda games, Rockstar games. I had never played GTA, or at least not GTA 4. Like with that, you always hear like, oh, it's so violent and this and that, and there's that one clown who wanted to try to sue them because of that. But the fact of the matter is that, you know, I didn't think of it in a moral sense, like, oh, that's just bad, I don't want to play it because it's violent. It was more just like I thought it would be like a mindless game, like where, oh, it's just about action and combat only. And she's going to take a while before she goes, actually. You got to do this to counterbalance that. Okay, 3 out of 5. And this guy's about to be sent on a vacation. And there could be a chest, or you can't go up to the top. Maybe just get rid of her. And so many sexy crits. And the only reason why I turned on this floating combat text is just to show all the awesome parries and stuff for, you know, just the mitigation. We're going to be a hunter tank. It's almost like they were flirting with the idea of allowing you to do that, but it's kind of dishonorable to wait for respawns too. It's like you should be able to kill 5 of these when all 5 are different. That could be a different condition too. Like you have to kill the friars, but you can't kill 2 of the same one for the same quest. So you should have to try to kill these, but I'm not really feeling too confident, mainly because they heal. I mean, it'd be hard to even keep track of that, to be fair. You're gonna have to wait for the captain to come back anyway. Ergin, Lo, T, Denieb, Nud, Bur, Ross, Lithos, Ines, Voss, Ild, Nud. They both said Nud. Wirish, Raz, Serala. Hey, that sounds almost like an elvish thing. Wersh. So he really said Nud, Wersh, Rosh, and then Wersh again. It must be accurately translating to something. Like how Kek. Isn't Kek like from WoW? Like when they say Kek W, what is that from? That. I guess just like going key is like a form of laugh, but is that really what it's from? Is the horde form of laughing is Kek? So that's how. Oh, he is in there. I don't see him. Wait, but there's 3 of them or what? Or there's like 5. What's going on? I only see like 2 of you. But they must be behind, or what's going on? Almost like you should kill this and then get out of there, because the problem is you should know where you're getting out to. You're gonna run into more of them in the process. But this is where Wing Clip is actually hurting me. I don't like this position. Oh my god. Sexy dodges, but of course I'm a higher level 2, which we didn't have that luxury with the Thunder Lizard, because I mean those aren't really relevant to the encounter, but some of these maybe I can't do, so maybe I should skip them. I should accept, like, if they're yellow especially. Fuck, they're not. Like, you kill one, then you get out, but if I had a potion I would feel more. What the fuck? Look how they did like a whole 360. There's only 2 guys in there. It just makes it seem like more because there's 5 showing up. There's 2 behind. Oh, here we go, dude. Don't heal him. So cheap, dude. Imagine being able to heal, says the guy who's been spamming potions the whole time. Oh my god. Not only a 2v1, says a hunter, but also spamming heal, says a potion spammer. Deal with the respawn, so now they are going to aggro together. I don't know what I'm really trying to accomplish with this. Or maybe they won't, or they will. The problem is you're just going to out-heal me, so there's nothing I can do. Or if we can pull it so that one stays on me and the other one doesn't. Or like maybe he won't heal. Oh my god. I don't know what I'm trying to accomplish here. If you get an aggro chain, mitigation chain and aggro chain can both get you killed. Even with seemingly lower level stuff. Actually what this is, but Wing Clip comes to save the day because it's one of the best, you know, CC slowdown abilities. Not even CC, but just because it's so spammable and it's so, you know, just base 50%. I mean, like hamstring, like it comparable to hamstring, but it's better because mana is going to be easier to come by. If you're short on rage, there could be situations where that becomes an issue. I don't like how the lighting just kind of dims down like that randomly. Some kind of graphical bug, of which there are many in this game, surprisingly. Especially when you're streaming, recording it, it's actually kind of never quite perfect. There's like some motion blur that sometimes happens. Could be a bad spot to go up. Yeah, whenever you try to run away, you should already know which way you're going and what's there before you just go into a combat blindly. Okay, so you should be by yourself. And when you start to heal, I should try to spam that to give you both knockback on the heal, but also just to do more damage to stop you from being able to out heal it. Like, save this, go. Fuck, man. It's possible that she could actually win this encounter if she kept healing even more. But once they go in coward mode, that's the number one thing you should try to do when you're about to die, is to try to heal. Don't try to run away. Zealots, we just want to find one lone friar, which we could do maybe here, but they'll probably still aggro together. It's not like we can't take the commander out, but it's just a little bit worrisome, or we have to clear through this whole thing so we have a clear path to run away. But even that's tough because I just don't feel right doing this without a potion. But even if a potion was to drop, I'm not going to have any way to actually do it, to pick it up. This should be the last one I actually need. Thank God he doesn't have a friar in there, or maybe he does. Oh, he does. Fuck. So it'll end up healing him. Maybe this is a little unfair and unrealistic for me to actually try to do. You gotta get him in the red zone where he's about to die, and then he won't try to heal. You get the zealot. Wait, wasn't there another one here that was kind of aggroing together with him? What happened to him? Maybe he was padding around. Like, look how scary that looks when there's this many things around you. Now these two will aggro together, but I don't know what happened to the other one. Yeah, maybe I just can't even do this. You would think theoretically you should be able to, but so annoying because you're gonna have to deal with that one guy first of all healing, so we can wing clip the captain, then we can run away, trying to take out the one guy. He used to be pretty good about that, like aggro two things, then pull it away so one of them resets, and then, you know, kill the other. Not even like by the time he gets to you because he's wing clipped, just he gives up altogether. But sometimes it's hard to do that. He didn't aggro the other one, but now these two will be guaranteed to do that. So the problem is you have to take out the friar first, even though they're going to heal through your stuff, but also it's a case in which they're going to heal each other. So no matter which one you go for, it's going to be trouble. All we'd have to do is kill these two. I'm okay with skipping this and just moving on. Right? Like, I'm not going to do this. And so I'm basically just done here. We'll just turn this in, and we'll turn this in, which are both to the apothecary. Or wait, no, they're different ones. But that guy does pad around. He's kind of generous, which means I should still kill him, though, because he's going to mess with my structure as I'm going in here. There's only two of them together, but they're a pretty annoying combination, because no matter which one you go for, they're going to screw you over. But see, this guy didn't even try to heal. Look at what a weird pathing this guy takes. But yeah, like, always in these games... Oh, shit. Always in these games, like, why not just, like, stand in a circle where you're like a stealth game too? Stand in a circle and hold hands so that nobody could ever come behind you and kill you because you're all right there watching every direction. Just do it 360. That is the ultimate way to counter like Joel from The Last of Us or something. Is it's one versus everybody. You'll just win by attrition no matter what. Where is this guy? We gotta wait for this guy to pad again. Oh my god. 48. Are you kidding me, dude? We try to do it one time to him, and then he blocks, and then he's gonna heal like a clown. Or sometimes we're getting lucky and having him not heal. Just somehow he chooses not to. You might question the whole level aspect, but I think it speaks for itself with how weak we are. It's not even like we're using a good weapon, and so many things are working against us. So it's all right. Now we have another dude here. All I want to do is get in there cleanly and get a chance at this. If we can take out the Friar first, we can certainly be in a position where we'll starve them out. Come on, we should be able to do this though still. If I had a potion, I'd be much more willing to do it. I almost want to do the racial for it, but by the time we wait for that, we're going to get respawns. Right, so I may as well try it. Now I'll just run and see if somebody resets. Right, do a little leashing thing here. Don't even try to fight him. Let's see how far we can leash them. We'll take him 100 to 0 just with that alone. Or we'll just try to solo him then. To get rid of the stupid cowardly healer. Although maybe this is the wrong one to take if he has some abilities. Nice use of shield bash. Dancing like a pro. Yeah, see, that's sometimes the best way to do it. If you can't deal with multiple at once and you don't want to keep going back and forth and killing one at a time, just try to pull it in such a way that one of them resets. We should just see what's in there. Maybe a chest that we won't be able to loot. Not like we need the Friar anyway. This humanoid tracking is actually pretty handy. We should just be able to take care of you anyway, but... Again, if I have to run away, it could be trouble because we'll be getting respawns. Only annoying thing with these is the fact that they heal, of course. The one mechanic that they have. Yeah, we have like 2 overpowers compared to a warrior. Right, like if we dodge or... Well, it's the opposite, though. If we dodge or if we parry... Yeah, so they only really heal once. Even if you look at how much mana they have, if they were to really be sort of petty about it, they could heal the whole fight, right? Like if you're dueling somebody at a low level and they can just out heal you or full heal, right? You're gonna just run out of resources before you can ever kill them. You could try to them, but look how little that actually took up for him. So let me guess, you're gonna give me another one. Like where else could you possibly send me? There's the one like further on there. It's okay if I get to one that's like yellow and then I'll say like, okay, that's too hard. We won't be able to do it. So we'll just save it for later, like with Fizzle Darkstorm. But at least that one we gave a true effort and we couldn't, you know, we genuinely couldn't do it without putting ourselves at major risk. And then they have like Voidwalker pets too that are tankier than they are. So there's a lot of factors working against us there. Kind of a bad title maybe because it makes it too presumptuous that I have a sort of a story that I'm thinking might happen. I thought we might find something in Tirisfal just incidentally, but while we're grieving over our other pet, we just stumble upon one that's perfect, but it's just not so. I think the dude's in the graveyard, but I don't know where the other guy is. This one, this is gonna be Undercity, this is gonna be Silverpine Forest. We have 4 things to turn in, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 3. Yeah, how about give us a bag as a reward? Like the one guy in Razor Hill, he was almost mocking me like, you look like you could use some more space, but I'm going to give you a 4-slot bag instead of a 6-slot bag. I just have to resist the urge to pick stuff up constantly so that if something rare does drop, we can actually pick it up. The Sepulcher is our main main goal, or we could just sleep in a house on the way there. As long as it's like a safe, yeah, that's what'll happen. It'll seem like, oh, this is a safe, empty house in the middle of the road. Wow, what a great place to rest off. And then there'll be an elite that spawns there that somebody just killed, right? That's gonna respawn as soon as we log in and kill us next time. That could be amazing. There is something like that, right? Like that's in Duskwood. There's some random NPC in a house. Yeah, we appreciate this chick for letting us sleep there. I'm not waving at the player. I'm waving at them. Can't remember exactly how I would RP in this, but like this is a good way of doing it. Like where it's very relevant to the playthrough. Like, oh, we're not using a bow just as a like sort of a character class creation hard mode aspect, but it's also because yeah, and what's more immersive and RP friendly than you can't die, because it's like real life, you just can't die. There's no magical spirit res, anything like that. Although some of the abilities sort of trivialize that. Like, oh, somebody can just resurrect you. That shouldn't be, you know, there's no such thing. That's just not a thing that you can do. It's one thing they can heal you to stop you from dying. Fine, even as abusive as that might be too. Now our heart's aching for the pet, so let's do this. I don't want to rush it though. As Vakon's death will slow down the Scarlet Crusades a bit, but other threats loom. Scarlet Crusaders have been raiding from the ruined tower in northern Turisfal past Fowl's Rest. According to the information we have, a ruthless commander named Captain Melrosh is in charge of this evil crew. I'm entrusting you with a special and dangerous mission. Play Melrosh and his 2 bodyguards in the name of the Dark Lady. If it's yellow, I'll take a pass. If it's yellow, I'll take a pass. Fuck. They won't let me get away with it. It's gonna be very hard to deal with 3 though. I don't know. Where is the other guy? I think he kind of patrols through though. And we also owe this guy a thanks because he let us sleep here the first time. You have some venom from a vicious nightweb spider. It's the final component I need. Thank you for saying final. That means you're not going to do a pain quest forever here. This venom will do perfectly. Everything else has been added to my concoctions, boiled down. Finally, ready to try the deadly agent. According to Death Guard, another one of those foolish dwarven mountaineers has just been captured. Death Guard likes to use the cellar of the gallows and tavern as a holding cell, and prisoners can be properly dealt with. Why don't you go see how the captured mountaineer enjoys the special drink I made for him? Contains a subtle hint of what the Dark Lady has planned for the rest of Azeroth. This is kind of a cruel, yeah, we pretend like it's a used gun. I have a full backpack, so I can't do that quest that I find so reprehensible morally to do. I'm not that kind of a troll. I mean, even this I don't really want, but some of this I'm just kind of compounding my space issues that aren't going to be resolved for a super long time because I'm just not going to go to a bank.
I'm listening.
Okay, we already read this. Yeah, there's a Dwarvish Mountaineer and somebody else there too, like a Scarlet Guard. Yeah, as if we need an excuse to kill them. Oh, we got to kill them because they're bad, evil Scarlet people, like the Alliance would say. But for us, it's like they're humans anyway, so the only ones we respect, I guess, are the Argent Crusade thing. Or it's the Argent Dawn. An organization focused on protecting Azeroth from the threat of the Scourge. Strongholds of Argent Dawn can be found in the eastern and western Plaguelands. Yeah, why is he saying it like we're all around the world? Or like here we're allowed to do our thing, so you'd at least have to be in a town to do it. Savage Strikes is very good. I also like this, but we don't even have our traps yet. Gives your Immolation, Frost, and Explosive Trap chance to entrap them, preventing them from moving for 5 seconds. It's not bad, so we might do that with the other rest of the with the rest of them. Give your Wingclip a chance to immobilize. Like, both of those are good. A 5% chance. 4% chance. This is actually better though because I'm more likely to be using that more often, but this is really good. It takes your subpar melee abilities and makes them slightly less subpar, I guess. That's obviously below. Yeah, this is a very cruel thing to do. Why not give one to him too? Why, if I had trusted my rifle, if I had my trusted rifle, you'd be as good as dead. Now that's rubbing it into us even more. The fact that we, you know, hate rifles so much. I've personal. See, that has nothing to do with us being Horde Alliance and then tenuous or having hostility that way. This is a different kind of rivalry. That he's a hunter who plays like a real hunter, and we hate that. Be as good as dead. Just wait until the Steam Tank Brigade arrives to rescue me. Drink it last. I'm sure it's no Rasputin Mall, but I'll take anything to wet the old whistle at this point. I raise my brew and hope to be rid of the likes of you. Cheers, you no good scoundrel. This guy has no reaction to it. Yeah, just because you were so rude and fucking telling me about a gun or a bow, that's the worst thing you ever did. It's not the fact that you're an Alliance member, not the fact that you've killed Horde in the past or whatever you've done. It's the fact that you would dare to use a bow as a hunter or a gun as a hunter. So what else did we have to do? I almost don't want to do this one, but it might be the last thing that we can do, or they'll give us like an endless chain quest to it's not like I have to do them, right? It's just feels kind of fitting. Of course, I expected the Scarlet Crusade one to go on for a long time because of how crazy the you know, there's just so many outposts of them. Yeah, I think this guy passed around. Or wait. Oh, it's like, oh, I'm a herbalist. I'm tracking the Doomweed. It's over there, but I already did the quest.
Shadows beckon.
This had better be good. I trust you have all the Doomweed I require. Like an avant-garde camera angle moment in if you're doing it like a true RP, like you're a filmmaker. My Doomweed, excellent. He rubs his hands together greedily. These will continue come in quite handy. You've done me, the lady, a fine service today. As promised, here is the reward you deserve. 1 silver. It's actually not too bad at this point, but most of them have been better. So it's not like I'll be short on being able to... I would just buy bags from a shop at this point, which I feel like one of these did. Like, I'll just buy 2 6-slot bags, just so I don't have to deal with this stupid space thing. I almost wanted to get one in each a memorable way. Like, we got this from a random drop. We got this from a quest. Like, make it like bottles in Zelda, right? You get every bottle, just some dinky thing that you could get theoretically anywhere from some very memorable moment. Like, you have to rescue her chickens and stuff. It's only 5 silver. I don't see why that should not be permissible to do. You almost want to make this one the last one because it's the shittiest. So it just switches the inventory out. 6664. It's actually not bad. I think it's acceptable to do that. I mean, you're spending your hard-earned money to do it. It's actually not even that expensive. The 8 slots I won't even worry about. We could try to do this, or I could just accept the fact that this is gonna really be a tough thing. Where is it even? Assassinate his 2 bodyguards. I'm entrusting you now with a special dangerous mission. Where is he? Or was he the one that I saw as I was going to the Venom Web thing anyway? In northern Tirisfal, past Fowl's Rest. It's like on the other side of... on the other side of the monastery, I guess, maybe? Okay, hang on a sec. Maybe I'll try that, or... I don't want this title to make a liar out of me, but it kind of puts an inordinate amount of pressure on. Look at all these clowns buffing each other. Must be botting. Imagine botting in a dead game. Like, what are you doing it for? They'll bot through in hardcore just to show, like, you can brag. Like, oh, look at me. I got the world record. But of course, Fowl's Rest is the graveyard of the Scarlet Monastery. And so it would have to be there. Another tower. It's weird they didn't send me to the other one. So let's see if this chick has more potions to sell. She had like the 3 limits. I don't know when or where that conflicted, like with, oh, you get to compete with other players for it. Like if somebody else buys one. I don't know if it was like that here or if that was added later. So many things I'll confuse between the different expansions that they just change. Oh, she doesn't even have them there at all now. Not seek death. But I'm not a coward either. Even under these circumstances, as with anything, I'll still do whatever I feel like. Like, just... whatever. I'll take risks. Like, even now, I don't need to do this. We got to take out 2 bodyguards. I can barely take out 1 thing at a time. So, I could accept that I just can't do this yet and come back. We need our own little bodyguard. There's whatever, I forget his name, NPC, who does something crazy later. In the lore, I can't remember what it was, but he actually does something very important. They have a lot of like sitting duck type things in this game, like, oh, just empty space and you know, you don't know what's over here, you don't know what's over there. Unfinished content turns into actually a good foreshadowing of lore. It's not even hostile. Yeah, like, what is this even supposed to be? That's not Death Knell. This is Death Knell. It's one of those things like maybe you see on the flight path or a lot of empty space like that. It's even filled in on the map. And then it's one of those things when Cataclysm comes out, you can finally like fly over and actually see. Like all those buildings you would see, like, oh, the dwarven buildings in the wetlands that are like, whatever, in an intraversable spot. I forget where. Like, you know, you can just go there. There's that little dinky skeleton in there. It's just like weird stuff, but they turned it into flavor. Or that dragon by Stormwind. You can see like 2 dragons fighting each other or something till the end of time. It was their way of sort of just showing off. Like, oh, look at all these cool things in the world, except that's a bit of a facade because the cool things it's showing you, oh, I can't wait till I'm a high enough level to actually go there and see it, but you actually won't be able to do that. They make a point to highlight those areas in particular that you can't ever go to. Or I love that goblin spa area in retail in Feralis. But when I say retail even, it's like it's been like that since Cataclysm. It's just, yeah, now they get the special view of Sargeras' sword, and so it does. You can literally see it from there, and it doesn't bother them or kill their buzz of the vacation spot. It's like one of those, like the Bellboy and Phoenix Wright, like Murder Manor. We'll add that to the promotion. We'll charge you more for it. You get to gaze upon Sargeras' sword that almost destroyed the whole fucking planet. Not that that'll turn people away. It'll actually make them more likely to want to come there to see it. There is some real house like that in some small town in America. It's like the place where 2 people were axed to death. And you can go there like it's a tourist destination. Like, what the fuck? Yeah, top 10 creepy towns in America video, which raises like some interesting questions. Like, oh, I didn't know America had places like this. Somebody will say, ha ha ha, like as if there's not places like that everywhere, just creepy, weird towns. But the reason why it's maybe more prevalent in that is because obviously America's just a lot bigger. If you're comparing it to like some small European country, it's like, oh, we don't have places like that here, but you probably do. It's just less frequent because it's over a smaller radius. There's a lot of dumb comparisons that people make, like, oh, gun crime versus Europe, but like the whole of fucking Europe has the same population barely as, you know, like the US. You're comparing 2 different things, like 300 million people versus 5 million people in a particular country. Where exactly is this, dude? I think it's like by the water, but we don't want to see any more Murlocs. Gotta be on like a high perch, no? How many gray enemies have I killed too? This should count against my whole thing. Like, this is a dishonorable kill. This is like farming. Or yeah, imagine if like wing clip didn't work on stuff if it doesn't have wings. I actually do have space, but I'm treating it like I don't. That's almost something I didn't want to do. I just buy bags, but I don't see why that should be against the rules, really. You can buy anything from shops, but not from other people or from the auction house and stuff like that. I don't know if the add-on actually disables trading, like, with people, but... Wait, this is the water. What the fuck is going on? Oh, it's there. Are we gonna see Mod here, too? My Nightmare at Mods, the sequel? I just love how pervasive they are. Like, maybe there is no quest that tells you to ever come here. There's just Murlocs, because that's just what they do. They hang out by the water, of course. Plotting for Queen Ajara, not that they're all loyal to her, or Neptulon, or whatever. I certainly haven't been to this one. Can we take out the Scarlet Leader final boss? I feel like it's a very bad idea, because if you have 2 bodyguards, unless we can somehow aggro them separately, like, oh, I could aggro all 3 and kill 1 and then run away, but that's starting to become very dangerous because of the fact that you're not really going to be able to do that. They're going to be too strong now, although it's still green, though. Why is it still green? That should almost be a rule, but it's not. Like, oh, you have to do every quest that you're offered pretty much, unless it's a dungeon, elite, or yellow. If it's yellow, you can skip it and save it for later. Not that that should be such a hard standard to do, but I think under the circumstances that's fair. But green feels like a cop-out. That just kind of scared me. Like, oh, I don't want to go anywhere near that. Scarlet Watch Post. They just get their kicks watching people res at Fowl's Rest or whatever. Look at this clown. He has rest sickness. Scarlet Vanguard. Level 11. Yeah, so like all this stuff I would have seen more as an Alliance player than a Horde player. Like I just would have explored this as I was waiting for my SM group to get here or whatever clown behavior. Neophyte practitioner like Maya Fey. That's the only time I've ever heard that word used in the game, or where a character actually says it. It's like Rafa calling her a neophyte. But what are the bodyguards going to be? They're going to be like the vanguards. Doesn't actually seem that threatening, but there's going to be too many of them. You're no Defies pillager, that's for sure. So we take like a backdoor entrance. I don't want it to be a friar, dude. So I can tell I'm nervous about that one. Friar, this just seems too difficult. Bodyguard, okay, they don't seem that threatening, the bodyguards. Now, these won't be able to heal, so at least you can do that. But actually the slowdown could be my demise. Right, that's really tough. I guess but you know what's really nice about it is, oh, is that because of the level difference too? I forget how a lot of these things work. Like it wouldn't normally, I actually don't know. Even having played a mage, yeah, because I wouldn't pick on lower level people. Like it's not a rank thing, because even rank 1 Frostbolt was a meta thing to do, like to slow people down for cheap mana and just as spammable. But oh, this guy's a pat, so that's kind of doing me a favor. As if you should know to do that, or you should wait for that. At least I like this. Like, it's kind of clear path to get here. There's no respawns that are going to happen behind me, aside from maybe the one. I love all these nicknames that I have that trigger people, like in Danganronpa, Chihiro is Cheerio, even though that one kind of makes sense. Or Leon is Larry Butts, lost to Larry Butts. Or what's the other one? Byakuya was Bayuka. I almost just said it there too. So these don't actually hit that much. I do like how these kind of pad around. So you only got a couple level 8s with you, but I still don't like not having a potion. Any little CC and stuff is going to really fuck you over. And so I don't have much room. Or no, I do have room now. Going to be padding around. This is just annoying because by the time you get through one of these, they're going to start to respawn. You know, you just got to take your time with it. Nothing should really aggro with this. You can wait for that chick to pad around too a little bit. Nothing should respawn this quickly. When did I kill that? Didn't I kill the neophyte there? I don't even know. I'm getting distracted during combat. You should always be ready to wing clip, but she might be so tanky that it'll be a while. He thinks because I have a mana bar, I'm going to cast a spell. Get a green dagger, +2 attack power. Actually better than mine. You're going in there, you gotta wait for some kind of padding sequence. Or she's gonna come out and just stand here. Let's try to grab her before that happens. So then we can just take her out and then take the 3 out. So we can take out one bodyguard, then run away, then take out the other bodyguard. Do the same thing. The problem is exactly the same case, the respawns. Wow, we really tore through her because she didn't even get a chance to try to heal, which is my favorite scenario. Should be fine for doing this. And then we will have the ultimate ready. That's what I'll call it from now, ultimate. Because you really need that to be able to deal with this. Like, I'll try to kite them super far away, take out one of them. I don't have a potion even, so this could get really scary. That's the thing. Yeah, please don't heal again, dude. You have all the mana in the world. Warrior's pants. Doesn't even make sense, though. She's not even a warrior. But like, imagine if the ones from in there aggro from this. We're gonna just totally you, but the problem is you're gonna run away too far. Look, you almost killed me. And hitting me more with your staff, efficiency-wise, than anything else. It's totally gonna be a respawn that does you in. That's what's so hard to manage sometimes. Especially, like I say, when other people kill them for you. We better do this quickly to try to subvert the respawns because... Oh my god. Oh my god. Like, look how unironically hard this is to do. By the time you even get in there, they're gonna start to respawn, so they won't let you do it. It takes like fucking 50 minutes to actually get through these. It's so annoying. And this is when you're already a little over leveled, but I guess that balances out with the fact that you're underutilizing the resources that you would normally have, so that's fair enough. So I'm not really over leveled, but I'm not really underpowered either because of that trade-off. Seems like a really bad idea to do this. I mean, hey, if ever there was a time to use a thing like this. $40. How you doing, 40? Took care of one of them. I'd be willing to fight it out with you if he resets, but I shouldn't chance it. He's hitting me for like 40 plus at times. Here comes the leashing punishment. Okay, dude. Okay, dude. Okay. Very impressed with your ability to run across the fucking map. Look how fast you go, too. Yeah, if you go that fast when you're chasing me, I can't even keep up with you. They go faster when they're resetting than when they chase you. So now it shouldn't be so bad, but actually, you almost have to wait for the racial, or... This whole respawn thing is what you really have to work around, which I don't like. So what you're going to do is try to take her out. Go ahead. Clip his wings, and then just get out of there. He hits a very high amount. Try to finish her off, and then I can 1v1 the clown with my thing cooled down. Every time he comes to you, just wing clip him. Block, nice, nice. Double block, mitigation chain. Okay, we better get out of there. What? Now I just can't do it because you ran away in fear. Like, what is that? What the fuck is that? Kind of pointless to do that in a one-on-one situation like that. So guess what we're gonna have to deal with now? Respawns. Guess I could have just tried to chase her and finish her off. Here isn't, man. Man. That's so unfair, you know? Yeah, now if you keep trying to do this, you'll keep getting more. It's so stupid. These are like kind of spread out, but now you're gonna start to get the paths and stuff. I mean, you don't have to be doing any of this, and you certainly don't have to be doing it like this, but still, it's surprising how annoying some of it can be. So the point is you want to pull these before they respawn so they won't aggro in groups, but they still will. Or yeah, your stunted movement because you're in that state is what's gonna equal out with me not having wing clipped you anyway. Or he's not gonna even let me do this. What if I just go in there with you already got respawns too. It's this freeze that really scares me, but it's not lasting even a second, so what good does it do? Even that's more effective just for me hitting them. Or that's gonna be one of the worst things that kills me is like the lightning shield, like from on the stuff in Sen'jin Isles, Echo Isles. This at least maybe makes it a little bit easier. Like you kill them as soon as they respawn. These at least won't cast at you like with holy spells and stuff. It's just so unfair. Like I can't even get in there to do anything. So all because I didn't want to wait for the racial, but if I had waited for the racial, they would have done that anyway. It's so stupid. Something else is gonna respawn like right on my head here, I bet. Like would I dare to pull these when I think nothing's gonna respawn? Because they're totally going to. Right as soon as I do it too. We should totally do this because this chick won't respawn. If I do this plus the racial, she's dead. And then the other one will come in soon. Let's see if this chick actually aggroes. Fucking, oh, she cucked my okay. She cucked my racial too. Isn't that just beautiful? Yeah, I'm not the greatest actually at judging these aggro ranges anymore. It's very hard to isolate them too. Yeah, the implication of leashing is, oh, you can just leash him all the way across the zone. Then he's like Kazakh, take him to Stormwind. Like, that's not exactly how it works either, but who cares? Take these out one at a time. Uh-oh. As long as they spawn one at a time. Now the other bodyguard is going to be back in there. You're going to have to do the whole thing again. Which was very scary because of the fact that... I don't know. Now she's going to run away. So it's the fact that this chick ran away the one time. Which is why you can use this as a finisher. It doesn't even tell you anything on this. Like the cooldown or the anything. These two are together, but one of them does pat. So why not just waste my time so that we get even more respawns? I didn't realize how annoying this would actually be. Put on the ice shield too. We didn't aggro, and there should be nothing that spawns behind me at the very least. So from that perspective, it's fine. Not gonna have an interrupt, so you just have to deal with it. Thankfully, they tend to only do it once, really. And never when they're in fear. This guy also started to pat around. And so did he. They both patted. You don't have our humanoid tracking either. Almost like I should just try to kill him, but you know, it's not like he's invincible, but then he occasionally does like a 40 damage thing. Where we get her dumbass to reset. Now we still do have to kill her. If you want to kill the general, shoot his horse. Just kill the general. What a stupid way of doing it, but I guess the other bodyguard was dead too, so you wouldn't have been able to do that otherwise. Okay, so now the respawns are relatively safe because you're in a case where the worst that can happen is the other bodyguard could respawn. We didn't even use the racial at all. We just went straight for him. Yeah, what was it that he did that did like 40 damage to us? So that was crazy. So please, either the next quest is just go to the fucking Scarlet Monastery itself and just do it. Do SM Cath, or we made him skip the heal opportunity. Just trying to get the bodyguard before the other bodyguard respawns, because they will be tied together. Really been bombing this chick all day. But she survived the best of it. She outlasted her boss. Give her a promotion. Post-mortem, like Brigadier General Hughes or something. Give her a proper name. Make her a named NPC. So now the one bodyguard is going to spawn by himself. What is that? Standard issue shield. Some of the shields are so laughably small, like the gargoyle effect from Dark Souls. Oh shit. I didn't even know you were back there. Okay, so we can Just get out of here after killing this one. And that actually kind of surprised me a little bit, but I guess the bodyguards were pretty weak. If the bodyguards were just normal enemies like this, then it would have been virtually impossible for me to do it. Because I would still try to do it the same way, but then they'd be so much harder to kill. And the fact that they run away is actually their best mechanic. Cowardly, average, typical cowardly pussy alliance, am I right? Says the alliance player. So please, either give me a yellow quest, and then I'll accept that, oh my goodness, it's too hard, I can't do it, or just give me, let's just go back the way we came. Or we could just do, we could like save it for later. Like, oh no, Fizzle Darkstorm is too tough for us, which we said at that point when it was still yellow, but it's even yellow now, which doesn't even make sense. Maybe it's not now, but oh yeah, like totally, I could totally take out Fizzle. It's because of all his fucking ads and stuff. Or the expectation would be that you totally could take him out. It's just, you know, you have the Void Walker, you have the other dudes around. It's a very tenuous, tight spot that you probably shouldn't put yourself in a solo context. That used to be my specialty. It's not even like, oh, I'm mechanically the best player, my aim is the best and stuff like that. But when it came to permadeath stuff, it's like, I'd be very good at, first of all, dealing with pressure, which I'm not really anymore. Like, oh, something went wrong that I didn't plan, but then you can recover from it. You don't just fall apart and get tilted and die. And then the second thing is kind of like risk assessment. It's like, oh, you played that mechanically wrong, but it doesn't matter because like you're not going to let that kill you. So you can just reset, or you can just, you know, take a pass and try again. So, you know, it might seem like cheese, but sometimes the biggest strength is knowing your own weaknesses. Like, okay, I know my aim's not good, so I'm not going to rely on it and try to show off. You take the path of least risk and just minimal danger. Level 1 corpse, that's just like a dark hound killing it though, because the server is so dead that nobody even exists. We'll take revenge for it, because we're a hunter and we're so much one with nature. The only one who's more one with nature are druids, and yet the Tauren druids allow the horde to ravage Ashenvale and stuff in nature. Right, lumber mill and whatnot, they just kind of grin and bear it. Because even forget about them being druids, just in general, they're very in touch with nature. They're druids, they're hunters, they just care about it. Alchemists, herbalists, suits them. So even though you could compare the Night Elves and the Tauren in that sense, you more so compare the Night Elves and the Undead just because they're on opposite sides of the map as everybody else. The Night Elves just feel like such hopeless underdogs, like this is it. And then everything else is on Kalimdor is hostile to them. So they're fighting a one-man battle against the entire horde. The trolls, the orcs, the Tauren. And yet they've still carved out an outpost for themselves in a couple of these zones, like Ashenvale and stuff. Of course, with the help of the Alliance, but still. And it's equally impressive, I guess, for the Undead. They're fighting back not only the Scourge, but also the Alliance. That's why it's kind of confusing. Like, oh, the Alliance is trying to fight back the Scourge too, so they kind of benefit unexpectedly from that too. I don't know why it surprised me so much seeing a human there in the Bulwark. Just like, you know that they're part of the Argent Dawn and stuff, but it's just not something I really wanted to see. Turn this shit in. We would want to take a trip to the Sepulchre, but they're not going to let me. They're literally going to keep me here till the end of time. Undercity, Silver Pine. That's literally it, dude. This one I can accept. Okay, I just can't do it because we just saw how hard it was to get in there. Or like, maybe I could do it, but I have the liberty to obviously, like, even though I want to do everything, I don't have to do it right away. We can come back with our pet and have him aggro every fucking thing in the whole place and just ruin me. That's going to be the hard thing to manage. It's a good problem to have, having the pet, but in some of these tight spaces, like, he'll just go through and, you know, that can always happen in dungeons. He'll aggro the whole fucking map of stuff. And he's going to be a lower level than me, too. Almost guaranteed. Imagine taming a level 15, you know, without a pet to fall back on. Like, you could dismiss the pet in the middle of combat or whatever. Just like, we have to get it to 1 HP. Pokemon style, and then, like in the red zone at least, then we can tame it. So we're not going to survive against the level 14, 15 beast anyway. So this guy will determine our fate. Are you going to give us another fucking quest that, like, what other Scarlet Monastery places are there? The only one I can think of is the one at the top left, but I doubt they would wait this long to give it to you. So you have done extremely well with ruthless fighters like you, conquering in the name of the Forsaken. Our race is one step closer to defeating Arthas once and for all. I have a good feeling about you. Yeah, don't name drop Arthas right now, dude. He's not worried about a clown like this. Oh, there's actually nothing left after that. I guess it makes sense. So there must be another quest that sends you here that I just never got, or maybe I already did it and I forgot. We've been in Tirisfal Glades for 2 fucking episodes now. I was not expecting to do this, but you know what? It was all very relevant. And look how close we'd be getting to Mongoose Bite if it is a level 16. Require more backspace, but you can't do shit about that, huh? Or we'll save it for when we get to level 40, male build, but presumably you'd get better mail by then, but you might be surprised. A dagger level 6, for some reason I feel inclined to keep. We're going to dual wield with it as we're getting close to level 20. So we have not stepped into the Barrens or Silverpine Forest, and yet we are level fucking 15. So just trying to think about that. If you were a degenerate trying to subvert the difficulty of a hardcore run, this is how you would do it. Of course, I need no such benefit, but I don't really want to keep this here like that, but oh, of course. Put it here, put it there. Everything's fine. We have extra backspace. But the more backspace I have, the more useless shit I'll keep too. Let's cook some stuff, make some stuff, sell some stuff. So we still want to make a trip now to the Sepulchre. And on the way, if we fall in love at first bite with a warg or something, we could do it. But I still feel like it's too... It feels kind of forced. It's got to come naturally. Maybe I'm posing it as a question. Would a lost troll find their other half? Not they would. Trying to be all poetic. Rough blasting powder. I don't know whether I want to do that or not. You can make more of these bombs. I think I'll just hold on to that stuff for now, but it is a lot of rough stone. And I feel inclined less to sell stuff like that too. Even as much space as I have in my bank, even that's going to start to run thin. I have to use some of the stuff for something. So even if it's leveling engineering, I'll worry about it later though. Wait, what else did I make though? I thought there was something else I could make. You can smelt copper, which I just haven't bothered to do. Nothing in first aid, so I have 3 bags open, 6, 12, 16 space is fine. A lot of this is good stuff though. I don't want to get rid of any of it. I always have that one little extra spot, but I should do that as an emergency. Like, oh no, I'm going to get a BOE rare blue drop and I don't have any space and I can't destroy anything. By the time I find a fire to destroy something in, I'll lose the BOE blue. So then I'll equip this and save me the slot. So it creates this subconscious thing like, even if you're a clown and you're going to overcommit yourself. So we've earned passage to Silverpine Forest by taking down the Scarlet Crusade for these guys. We haven't earned passage to the Undercity because we still have to be friendly. We can wave goodbye to Brill. I should have like saluted the guy. Or you kind of salute from your chest as a troll. You don't even necessarily have to do anything on the way, right? We're just trying to find a place to sleep for the night. After an arduous journey in Tirisfal that was way more exhaustive than I would have thought. Actually incredible what I did here. Like, what level was I when I got here? Was I 13? So I got from 13 to 15 in a level 1 to 10 zone, but you can't really read it like that. Or maybe I was 14. We actually got through our rested experience like I'm a man of my word, right? I even said, oh, we should get through that. So I'm very excited to get Mongoose Bite probably the next time, sometime this century when we actually go back to town. I don't know what should dictate that, right? Like I should have some reason to go back to Orgrimmar or something, because you can't train your stuff otherwise. So Hunter is not really like one of those classes like a druid where, oh my goodness, you just can't do it. But like so many human NPCs are Hunter types. like where, you know, they sort of bypass the class restrictions that you would otherwise normally have. Always a beautiful sight looking at the ruins of Lordaeron. So weird that those things are demons. Yeah, our heart aches, but we've finally gotten over it by facing death itself. We kind of can come to terms with it. Even though he didn't die, he left us. We come upon something we've never seen before in our life. This beautiful specimen. And it's love at first bite for us. We're going to put ourselves at risk and potentially die trying to do it. Like, I can't even do it. That's the thing. I can't even tame it. Watch. We would have to get it in the red zone and then do it. And by that time, it'll be way too late. And take a chance on you just like we did on the raptor. It's not going to happen. Fuck. I unironically can't do it. You try it on the level 10. The Shining Strand, even more Murlocs. More Murlocs here than there are Forsaken. In these undead zones. That's a problem. Maybe I wasn't expecting to have. We can take the level 10 one. Maybe. Having to get it into that red zone is the hard part, you know? So the level disparity is to be accepted because you're going to have to do it like this. Or just spam the shit out of this. It might still be very difficult to do, but I guess the adjustment is the fact that you could always like, oh please, oh please. Oh, I had it too. Look at that mitigation chain. But now we're going to fail it because of how long. Are you kidding me, dude? Why are we mitigating this one so well, but not the other one? Like, one level difference shouldn't be that big of a deal. But now you're not going to be able to do all these fancy things. So now it should be good. Sorry for killing your buddy there, but he almost just killed me. I'm willing to risk my life for it, Pat, but not like that. Makes you so vulnerable, so weak. You're willing to risk it all for your other half because you'd never be complete without it. You wouldn't want to live without it in the first place. What happened? It just failed. What the fuck is going on? I don't even know what happened. Level 10. We could try with this one instead. What, like he's too low on health to... What the fuck happened? Has slain it. What does it say about tame beast? Doesn't even mention that in the log. That doesn't count as like the thing dying. It just didn't work, I guess. You would think for something so much below your level too, that should be more forgiving. But I still want to be able to use the racial here. Yeah, this is a good way to cope with the loss. The fact that we're seeing something for the first time, and you know, we'll use that. Something fearsome, something strong, something not unlike the wolves that the orcs ride around. But something out of our element. You can telepathically pat it. As soon as we enter this zone, we just have it fall into our lap. And of course, we can save the other spot for like a range thing. Music is really good here. What you actually want to do, feels kind of bad killing multiple of them, but I wasn't planning on doing it. It's just kind of a tough spot to be in, like where the first one was about to kill me and the second one just didn't register. Like, I kind of fucked up by putting myself out of the mana thing. Begins taming a beast. Your armor is reduced by 100% while you focus on taming the beast for 20 seconds. If you lose the beast's attention for any reason, taming process will fail. Once tamed, the beast will be very unhappy and disloyal. Try feeding the pet immediately, which of course we've made that mistake before. Will you cannibalize your own kind? Or will I have to go fishing to feed you? I didn't even think about that part. I actually don't know what their diet would be. It'll be meat, but I don't know if I should feed you your own meat. That's kind of weird. I've heard of dark meat, but that's ridiculous. So we get it super low. We got maybe lucky with the mitigation chain here. But basically, we get him down a lot easier. I don't know why that level 11 was so insane by comparison. You get him in the red zone. Oh, please, dude. Now, we should just be able to do this unless something else aggroes or I don't know what happened. Like, we got it all the way through. Or now he's going to bait me and actually crit me and kill me. Imagine if he mitigates at the very end here. Yeah, imagine if that's the killing blow at that point. What do you like to eat? What's your diet, buddy? I don't want you to leave like the last one, but it does give you a little bit of time to figure it out. It tells you somewhere in here. Diet is meat, so I hate to do it to you, but first of all, you should be on passive. Second of all, you need to be fed. You can feed a wolf meat. Are wolves cannibals in real life? I don't want to do it like that, but that feels a little bit weird. Or shouldn't it be warg? What should we name it? Maybe I haven't decided. That feels kind of wrong to do, but just out of our desperation. So he has 2 abilities. Bite the enemy, doing 16 to 18. Party members within 15 receive 9 extra damage to their next physical attack. Instant 10-second cooldown. And of course, this is the impetus of the focus mechanic. The idea that your pet would have it, so then eventually you have it. So you could buy some meat from the vendor there. We already start off on the wrong foot, causing it to be a cannibal. Is that actually a true thing? I'm actually going to look it up. Are wolves cannibals? Cannibalism is not uncommon in wolves during harsh winters, when packs often attack and eat others. Do wolves eat other wolves? Okay, so I guess I didn't do anything wrong, but just in principle, we'll try to avoid that. But what else are we going to get meat from here? He's already not very happy. Damn it. Like, I can't think of what would give you meat. We could go get some from there, but let's just go and find a place to sleep, and we can spend some time with our lovely pet, whose name we haven't even decided on. Ash was my raptor, which didn't last too long, but obviously we're going to have him not only eat his own kind, but kill his own kind. Can't be helped. He has 2 interesting abilities. We keep him on passive, obviously. Not going to worry about renaming for the time being. And loyalty level rebellious, but it's not going to end the way it did before. Okay, where is the sepulcher? Am I underestimating how far it is? Aster Hadron, look how fucking far this guy goes. He goes through Tirisfal and Silverpine. The damage, strength, etc. Minus 14 training points. I'm not going to worry about all that for now. Just having one is itself good. Now, of course, we can't let it die. Otherwise, the run ends. No, but otherwise, we can't get any more wolves the entire rest of the game. I could abandon him myself and then get another wolf, like I could do with the raptor. So the raptor situation was unfortunate. He didn't die, but we had just tamed him, and then he left during the middle of combat. And the reason why he left is because we didn't have feed pet, and so I couldn't even do it. So he was unhappy. So I didn't even know that could happen. And so the point is that we can get some bear meat. The point is that what happened was the simple fact that he left during combat, because if he didn't, oh, he's learning stuff during the middle of combat. If he didn't do it during combat, then it wouldn't have counted as losing the pet, because otherwise I could just cheese it, right? I could say like, okay, I can abandon stuff during combat if I think it's going to die to save that class of stuff. And they're forcing me to engage in cannibalism, a very fitting thing for the undead areas. You kind of get a taste of their own medicine. Like, now you know what they feel like when they're so desperate and just completely beside themselves in life. And so the point being that, you know, we're very against it as a troll. We don't do things that way, even in the voodoo culture. And we try to resist that. So it offended us at first, but now we found ourselves in a very Mistopheles sort of scenario where we've engaged in a form of cannibalism for our pet. So this is what the undead area has done to us. What have I done? We came here to overcome death, but now we sort of become it. This is Grizzled Bear. It feels weird having it be named the Wolf, but isn't there just like a shop that I could maybe buy food from? Because he's going to be unhappy and he's totally going to leave. Or like imagine he leaves while I'm logged out. He'll just get pissed at me. But he's still happy. We fed him 2 pieces of meat. And we don't have like any connection to the Undercity, so it's not like, oh, we could fly from there. What an annoying spot to be in, though. It's like, you know, we could kill a bear and then that would give me a stringy bear meat or something. Yeah, I like all these little mechanics to give a sense of identity. Like, it's a mechanic that exists only for one class, but it has so much depth to it. You have to feed the pet, you have to train the pet, you have to take care of the pet, you have to do so many things. The pets have their own abilities. There are so many different kinds of pets you can get. But he doesn't have a taunt, so I want to be the tank, so that my mitigation leads to more abilities, not the least of which are Mongoose Bite and Counterattack. But I don't want him to tank, and he's only a level 10, but yet we're still struggling with him on aggro. Are you kidding me, dude? You can't just give me a decent meal for my buddy? That's the biggest thing I'm afraid of, is not dying or my pet dying, but of him leaving me because of the stupid ass fact that he's hungry. Because of course I denied him a meal in myself by not letting him kill me, but I let him take a good bite out of me nonetheless. I actually love this area. Silver Pine Forest is awesome. It has that little Fenris Island, so that should totally be edible. Yes, dude. Okay, that's got to satiate you for the night. You've had 3 nice little meals for the day in a very short span of time. And if we have a meat vendor here, might be in poor taste. Like, there's meat everywhere. You can smell it rotting before your very eyes. I love how they portray the Flight Masters. Like, whatever you want to say about this game, oh, it copied EverQuest and such. It certainly had... In fact, did EverQuest have any pre-existing lore? Because this universe had a lot more. Karos Razak, like from Warcraft 1, 2, and 3. Greetings, our bats are well trained and fed. You will not find faster. Watch my back, but that's what my buddy here is for. He'll watch it for me. Only thing you have to be careful is not sending him in like a very aggressive way. But yeah, will the innkeeper have any meat on him? Probably not.
And you,
I guess the best way is just to kill a bunch of bears and stuff. So we're not going to sleep in the inn, of course, but we'll sleep in a place that resembles it. Like, can we sleep in your bed, please? Whoever's house this is, if you give me a quest, I'll do that for you as a result. What?
Speak quickly. Be quick about your business.
Well, that's unfortunate. That's actually not what I expected to happen at all.
Bye.
This guy has a certain amount of authority in town, and so he'll get me the passage to be able to sleep in that house if I do this quest for him. Prove your worth. Lady Sylvanas is charged Varimathras with the conquering of the human and dwarven lands to the south. But that fool Erigol, charlatan of Dalaran, and now cursed beast of Shadowfang Keep, let his reckless magic wreak havoc with the strategic stronghold of Silver Pine Forest. And his influence is so big because then he ends up creating the whole Worgen race, right? It's his doing. We get to appreciate his appearance on the title screen too. Our other half, I like referring to that as, you know, the hunter aspect. And it's so intrinsic and important to us because it's the only, you know, ally we have when we don't have the bow and other abilities. So it actually crashed, my internet crashed. And so imagine if that happened during combat. That would actually be the end of the run. But thankfully we're in a town, so that shouldn't count for anything. All I was going to do is just sleep in the house. It can't even let me have that satisfaction, I guess. So we would agree to do this. We were talking about the Moonrage White Scalps to be able to sleep in the bed there in the house. That's all I would have to do. Of course, it objected to me having that buff on me. Not that it helps me here. Intelligence buff invalidates the whole run as a hunter. Dawnweaver wants you to kill 5 Moonrage White Scalps. I did read that. I need someone skilled in the ways of combat to clean up Erigol's mess. Prove your worth by killing 5 Moonrage White Scalps, the wretched beast. Yeah, I was objecting to them being called beasts too. So because of that, we get to sleep here. And I can check out the town in more detail. And of course, I kind of skipped through the area a bit. But at least now we have a proper area to go through, which could take a bit. And of course, we may as well do the delivery Also, to make ourselves even more of an honored guest, the Dark Lady has put the challenge forth. Now it's time for the Royal Apothecary to develop a new plague. We shall bring Arthas and his wretched army to their knees, and I like how literal that is. Yeah, at the Wrathgate, he literally comes to his knee to the plague. What business did you have with me? Good of Johan to send his research. With so many new developments here in Silverpine, I nearly forgot about the findings coming out of Lordaeron and Tirisfal Glades. Which reminds me, I need those samples. I need to get those samples off to the Necropolis soon. Necropolis? What are you, fucking double agent for Naxxramas? What Necropolis? Are you talking about Undercity? But you must excuse my rambling. Extend your stay in Silverpine Forest. We could use an able-bodied hunter like you around here. Yeah, because you don't have any hunters because you are undead. And humans couldn't become hunters either. Although it almost seems intrinsic that they should be able to. There's nothing... That's not one like where, of course, Horde races can't become paladins. Or, of course, Alliance races can't become shamans. But, hunter, it feels like everybody should be able to become a hunter except maybe gnomes and maybe, undead should be fine. Like, a lot of them would make sense. But yeah, is that like a subliminal slip to the Necropolis? A recipe for death. Arthas' numbers are overwhelming, but with a new plague we could eradicate. I like how on point they were about this. So it took them 2 expansions to get there. Still shorter than it took for the trolls to take over the Echo Isles again. I can't even see my chat too because everything just crashed. Shorter than it took for them to do the Echo Isles, or shorter than it took for fucking Gnomeregan to be taken back for the gnomes. Oh wait, that never even happened apparently. Or maybe it did happen and then I just don't know because I tried current retail and then they got taken over by the Mechanome guy again. But with a new plague, we could eradicate both the Scourge army and the human infestation once and for all. I like how you say it like that. My studies have proven that spider blood combined with the toxin... Do you forget that you were once human too? I've become something far superior now. I've outgrown your human weakness. What does he say? Bradley. I've become something far superior. That human you killed, or that woman you killed, he calls her. She died with her pride intact, didn't she? That woman you turned to a banshee, she died with her pride intact because she's still such a strong person now, Sylvanas. My studies have proven that spider blood, combined with the toxin derived from a grizzled bear heart, results in a deadly elixir. Collect samples from the spiders in the skittering dart to the northwest and the bears wandering throughout the Silverpine Forest. Deliver the reagents to Master Apothecary Farinal in the Royal Apothecary Society in Undercity. What the fuck? This is a random zone quest where I'm killing the mobs in the zone, but you want me to go all the way back there? I guess you could just fly if you were normal and didn't want to RP so hard in terms of the not going to the cities without it being a big event. Collect six grizzled bear hearts and 6 samples of skittering blood and deliver them to Master Apothecary Farinal in the Undercity. We have permission to sleep here, and we finally will not mind the fact that we have to sleep on the floor, because now we finally have some company, and they won't mind that. A hunter is nothing without their pet, you see, so you get to get a place on the carpet too. So we go from being upset that the undead forced us to sleep on this, because obviously they don't need to sleep and they don't have proper beds, to being happy to do it, because we get to share it with somebody else. Wish you could do emotes for your pet too, like make him sleep too. Okay, so after a couple crashes, that is so lame though. My whole just internet crashes, the stream crashes, everything. And so, if you were out in combat there, you would just die. That's it. The run's over. So I can't control that. Normally, sometimes my stream will crash, although not super often. But I don't think that happens. That's ever happened, really, where just my internet crashes overall.